Okay, so you've done some return reports. Here's the thing you notice about patterns. Like we've been doing some of the similar behaviors over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. They can get a little boring. When you're doing them. Right? Matt, how many times have you done a return report? In Warrior, at some level?
19, 20?
Since 1920?
Or 19 or 20 of them?
19 or 20, yeah.
Feels like
19 or 20, a few.
Oh, besides the monthlies?
Oh. So many different times. Like if you take the general's tent, you take fact maps, you take all of this stuff, you take all of it, and it's not exciting. The only thing that's exciting is results. That's it. Everything else is not exciting. So the problem is in the beginning, people look for entertainment. They're like, oh, God, this is new. I'm so entertained. And at a certain level, business is not entertaining. It's not entertaining at all. What's entertaining is buying the fucking house your wife wants. What's entertaining is paying for your kids to go on vacation, not giving a shit. What's entertaining is not fucking worrying about money. That's entertaining. So we watch a video of Kevin at lunch. I hear him. I don't give a fuck. His family's not my problem. You had 4 years. You don't get off the ground, your fucking plane crashes, not my fucking problem. You can be angry at me all day long. I'm not the one that has to face my wife as a big-ass pussy who can't pay my fucking bills. That's not I don't have to face that. I get to look at my wife and deal with my bills. That's it. Not yours. And this is a decision you have to make in business. Phil, you and I were talking about this. Like, this is a decision you have to fucking make in business. You're either going to be savage or you're not. If you're not going to be savage, stop pretending like you want money. Stop pretending. You can't be nice. To do the place you have to go, you cannot be nice. You cannot be nice. There's nothing nice. It doesn't matter how nice I am. That's from the nice guys, Alizar. That's from the nice guys, that shit you saw. That's from the guys that say they love and care for me. That's from them. What the fuck do you think I get from the rest of them? A giant bag of go fuck yourself. So at some point, you have to make a decision to go. It's not happy clappy, and as fun as it is to sit in the medicine won't get it done. Won't get it done. It's not going to change anything. Won't change a fucking thing. Unless, of course, you're willing to do what? We looked at this in the sidewalk. What do we have to do?
You have to figure out where your vision is and then go.
Go.
Where to get there.
The greatest blessing and curse of the Warriors way is it's like medicine. Is you get a taste for what's possible, and you get to be around men who have done what's required to obtain it, and then you're still left back in the same place of, will I fucking do what's required to get it? That's it. Will you do what's required? I don't ask you to do something I haven't done. I've done what you've done 1,000 fucking times. Back when you were first asked to do it and you didn't do it, I did. Mm-hmm. And I kept fucking doing it while you didn't for 10 years. Yep. That's why you are here with me.
Right.
Otherwise, it'd be the opposite. I'd be here with you.
Sure.
Right? So all of you were in a place, but now you're making the decisions. Now you're making the decisions. Now you're making the decisions. But you're all in environments where you're going to have to make a fucking decision. And it's not about being fucking nice. This nice bullshit has to go away. It's not going to build a business. Nice guys finish fucking last. Every fucking time. Show me one guy who's a nice guy, who's not either surrounded with hammers and savages. You can be a nice guy if you hire a team of savage hammers. A team. I was sitting with Scott Felder and we were having a conversation about this company he's doing business with. And he's like in the potential acquisition, et cetera. And he's describing this woman. He's like, this woman, she's such a bitch, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's going off for like 10 minutes. This fucking bitch, da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And then I asked him a question. I said, cool, got a question for you. You want to hire her, don't you? Quiet. I said, the only reason you think she's a bitch is because she's not on your team.
Yep.
You're pissed because somebody else has somebody who's willing to do shit in business, which is fight for what's best for their company and not you. This is not fucking nice. It's not fucking nice. All this, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be happy. It's not fucking nice. Get a fucking job if you can't handle it. Like at some level, you have to go. And it's hard. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because I create environments over and over and over again. But guess what I know? I'm not going to be there on Tuesday when you have to make the hard decision. I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there when you make a decision between make a pivotal move that's going to take away from your family for 14 days, that would land the contracts you need to land, that would buy her the house that she fucking wants, but instead you choose to go to the park. I can't make that decision for you, and I don't know what the best decision is. Is it go to the park or is it go make $4 million? I don't know. But what I do know is you have got to make a decision to be fucking savage or you will not win. Not today. Not today. And I don't care what the industry is. You get to see the happy clappy on the outside. The market you're in is in fucking chaos. People don't trust financial advisors because most of them are full of shit. Most of them tell people to do shit they don't do themselves. The real estate market is in fucking bloodbath mode, and the blood is going to rise the next 12 to 18 months. This is good. Consulting is becoming a cesspool of fucking jerk-off bullshit artists, which means now people aren't trusting consultants, they're not trusting coaches, they're not trusting marketing, they're not trusting the next company that says they can outsource to. No one's believing anymore. They don't trust the doctor. That's why if you stand up in front of them and you don't represent what they know and they don't have history with you, they don't trust you right out of the gate. Well, he doesn't mirror what I want. Why would I fucking trust him? Because I'm living in a world that reflects back to me what I'm supposed to want. That doesn't line up with what I see in the fucking pictures. Over and over. Well, great. You had two young men who exited. Why? Well, it's time for you to make some decisions, right? You keep making this conversation about your partners. At some point, it's not going to be about your partners. At some point, you're going to make a decision. Either fucking follow me or I'm out. But again, these are the decisions. The blessing is I got 14 months of cash. The curse is I got 14 months of cash. Because if you had 4 weeks of cash, you'd make different decisions today. But because you got 14 months of cash, you'll let Christmas slide and November slide, and the mind will let you fucking slip to January and be like, it doesn't really matter. Then it's spring, and it's like, it doesn't really matter. It's Easter. Let's talk about Jesus. Yay. And then it's summer. And then you're like, fuck, I need to do something. And that's guys that started working with me last year, sitting in situations where I told you to make fucking moves in October and you didn't fucking do it. If you're not marketing in this group at this point, it's your own fucking fault. It's your own fault. It's not mine. It's not mine. It's not the fact that you didn't have a room to do it in. It's because you're choosing not to do it. Sometimes we have to back in to do some things, Phil, where we got to fix some cracks. We're like, got to fix some cracks in the business. Sometimes we got to back in and decide, hey, I got to deal with my family. Sometimes we've got to make a decision about what we're actually committed to, Matt. Like, what are we really committing to? Phil, what were we talking about in our walk and talk about deciding on a model right now for you in business?
I'm going to lose. I was going to double the current client base, but that client base sucks. They're not scalable. I hate working with them. And a shift in my attitude and my approach is going to attract better clients, smaller volumes, and those other people are starting to leave. So there's pain associated with it.
And there's pain associated with Trevor, right? There's pain. There's pain associated with double my business with the wrong clients. There's pain associated with leave my current clients and go get new clients. That hurts. It hurts to do that. It hurts to do this. It hurts. Here's what I want you to understand. You want to build something big? It's going to hurt no matter what. It's not going to be nice. It's not going to be fun. It's going to hurt. You've got to fall in love with hurting. You don't fall in love with hurting, then go ahead and run a Claravita and I'll fill up your fucking buildings. Go build a church and I'll fund it. But if you want to be the one that brings the money, if you want to be the one that controls the fucking rivers in today's marketplace, in today's attitudes with human beings today, not human beings 20 years ago, not the way shit used to be back in 1993, today. You have to be able to blast through the market and reach people. So if you're coming across as just another guy, so you got to warm up. I warmed up most of your clients. So it's a false lift for you. It's a false fucking lift for you. Go try to warm people up off your reputation without Warriors Wake. It's fucking totally different. It's a different game. You'll fucking starve. So if you want to pull that shit off without coming off my wake and you want to fulfill what the journey told you, you're going to have to become fuck ton more savage than you currently are. Because I fucking wage war on the front line to prepare motherfuckers to listen to you. I meet them when they say, fuck you, Garrett. You get to walk in on the backside and say, I got a job flow, here you go. But can you meet people in the marketplace that don't give a fuck about Warrior and don't give a fuck about me? I don't know. If you're going to go to that place, guess what? You're going to have to play different. Way fucking different. You want to get out from underneath my shadow and my wake? Do you understand what you're being asked to do? To stand side by side with me, you can't even fucking come close to doing it right now. Not even fucking close, Greg. Could you in the future? Yes. Right now, no fucking chance. Not a fucking chance. I'll gas you out in one day. One fucking day. And this should piss you off. Yet at the same time, it's good fucking news. Because where were you 9 months ago? Where were you? Seriously, sitting in this room 9 months ago, where were you?
Nowhere.
Nowhere, dude. For God's sakes. A year ago, bro, what were you doing a year ago? Look where you are now. Where are you now? Besides a fucking tattoo, which is awesome. Where are you now?
It's a completely different world, different ball game entirely.
You have chosen the hard path over and over and over again the last 9 months. That's why you're going to win. That's why you will be there. That's why you will earn the right to be there. Because you'll keep doing the hard shit. 9 months ago, you didn't have a business. Now you do. You're here and you're learning, you're growing, you're experiencing. But the season's coming where you're going to have to do what?
You're on my own.
On your own. Do you know how many people come to this place, think they're badass under my wake, and then try to prove it themselves only to get fucking crushed? 98% of them. And I don't mean people who are like working in the system of Warrior. I mean people aligned with getting clients from my wake. Most of the consultants that left this place, most of their clients come from Warrior. Let's not pretend they're good marketers. They're not. I'm a good marketer. I'm a fucking great marketer. And then they clean up off my wake. It's been happening for 10 years. I'm okay with it. I have no problem with it. I think it's fucking beautiful. But you've got to make a decision. If you want to hunt on the front lines with me, you have to keep doing what you're doing for the next 7 years. What you're doing this year, you have to keep doing this for 7 years, and you have to do it with or without anything I say or do or anyone else. That means there might be seasons you're going to be alone. Trying to prove these decisions by yourself with no guidance from God, no guidance from me, no guidance from the mastermind, no guidance from anybody. Proving to yourself in the desert that you can do what?
Make it rain. Make it happen.
That's it. This market is perfect for you.
I know.
Why?
Because they're fucking starving. And I'm ready.
And you started getting ready in 2019.
Yep.
It's like this. Now people want to try to get ready now. You started making moves before you knew you needed to make moves, Johnny. You were preparing years ago for what you didn't know was coming. All of you. Phil, you right now have been this year in a game of adjustments, trying to figure out where the fuck am I going to go with this business? It's a confusing place to go. I get it. It's like being on a merry-go-round and you're like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going to go. I've been on this merry-go-round for fucking 21 years as an entrepreneur. It won't really end. It'll just be a merry-go-round at a new level. And you'll be still trying to figure out what the fuck am I going to do? 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 Had you not come to this place, you had no fucking chance. No fucking chance, Corbin. Zero fucking chance in Shamrock Estates. All joking aside. Zero fucking chance. What you had as a life right now would be what you have for the next 20 fucking years. And or you'd kill yourself over the fact you sold the fuck out. So you came here for me to do what?
Wake me up.
Wake you the fuck up and wake you up as a fucking weapon and refine the fuck out of you. Because that's what I do. That's what I've been fucking doing. That's what I have been forged to do. To the point that Brandon tackled me on this fucking stage physically, the only person in the history of Warrior to do it. And that's why that motherfucker's gone. Weak as fuck. Could not handle 2 seconds of the fucking pressure face to face with me. Couldn't fucking handle it. You think your clients were hard. Fuck your clients. Those guys are pussies. I would burn those big businesses to the fucking ground. I'd walk in, those people have no idea what the fuck to do with me in 5 minutes. Moves you made in 10 months, 12 months, I'd rip that fucking place together in 2 days. Now together, we can do some shit, but we won't get there if we don't have what? Yes, and we have to have something else from you. What is it? I have to have you fucking weaponized and fierce as fuck and punching people in the fucking face. It's a blend of Landmark and I wish you would, motherfucker. Landmark ain't gonna get it done. Landmark's gonna fucking die as a process. That's why Warner's giving away all his shit. Because modern people don't give a fuck about reading off a fucking PowerPoint presentation.
Nope.
So we have a chance here with you guys this year, next year, to help you make it. We've all been going through these shifts. You've been going through shifts. Hans, you've been going through shifts. Chuck, you've been going through shifts. Chris, you're going through shifts. You're all going through shifts. And the hard part is a lot of these shifts are being made so that you can actually have a foundation to do what, Matt?
Build.
Build. So it's hard because you're like, fuck, I don't want to do the foundational work to build. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't want to fucking do this. And so we get pissed because we look outside and we don't see it. We see over here all of this. We see all of this. We see all these things that we think we should have, but we haven't, our foundation is still too weak to even build it, which is wild. I was sitting in my stack this morning. I was just laughing. I was fucking laughing, talking to God. I'm like, my capacity right now is so fucking massive to do the shit I do every day with the kind of people I do it with the number of problems I have to solve, with the amount of fucking decisions I have to make. Rhett's sitting there last night laughing, watching me have a conversation on the phone with Corwin after an entire fucking day of 12 hours of consulting, juggling a baby with my 3-year-old, bouncing on a trampoline, trying to get my attention while talking to Corwin on speakerphone, making decisions for you guys today while trying to get Rhett's attention, while listening to my wife ask if we wanted Chick-fil-A. And I'm fucking laughing. I'm laughing because here's the good news. You all can become this. All of you. Matt's right. You don't get your fucking body right, bro, it won't matter. Period. It won't. You think God's gonna let you rise and be a fat fuck? You think he's gonna let you do this? What kind of example are you to your children if you continue this way? He's not gonna let you. The universe will fucking constrict you, Chris. So your entire business move is sitting right here on the weight you carry around on your body every fucking day. And until you choose to change that shit, no one can fucking save you. Your final hoorah is the same place. Both you two have the simplest obstacle in the room, yet the most complex, because it's been part of you for a minute.
Yeah.
It's been part of you. So, like, we're not talking about losing weight. What are we talking about?
Change.
Change of what, though?
Identity.
Identity, and it's fucking terrifying. Mm-hmm. And so, although we get to see the weight issue right here, dude, every single one of you motherfuckers are going through the same shit, Chris. Same shit Chris is going through. It's an identity shift. It's burning the fucking fat guy. I'm not the fucking fat guy. Fuck the fat guy. Fuck him. Fat guy is causing my marketing to go with it. Fat guy is causing me to be tired. Fat guy is causing this shit. Fuck the fat guy. This can't come from niceness. This isn't coming from a temple ceremony. This isn't coming from I wished I would. This is you getting fucking sick and tired of it and saying, I will not fucking tolerate this any fucking more. I'm fucking done. And that's what happened to me with money. I got tired of being fucking broke. I got tired of struggling with marketing. I got tired of fucking not being able to get shit done. I got tired of not being able to solve money problems. So what did I do? Same decision that you've made up to this point in every category, up to the final hurrah for you, which is your body. That's it. Dude, here's what I know. I'm not even talking about ripped Alzar. The guy that you are, lean, walking around, this dude is terrifying. Because you're already borderline terrifying as it is. He's fucking terrifying, dude. This dude walks in fucking custom pants, like fucking tailored shit walking. He's terrifying. This dude walks in and just fucking buys entire brokerages. Hey, all of you, shut the fuck up. I am now in charge here. One domino.
Yep. That's it.
One domino. So we can keep dancing on all of these. Some of you guys, it's your final domino. Some of you guys, it's your entry domino. And for everyone, it's different. For me, it was my marriage, dude. My marriage with your marriage is your single greatest game, bro. Your marriage and your Mormon church relationship. You don't handle those two, it won't matter. We won't be, there's nothing I can train you on that will be able to change anything outside of you taking care of Savannah and your fucking current fucked up situation with the Mormon church. You don't come to terms with that fucking situation in either one of these, you'll never be qualified to lead here. So right now, you got a window to get that shit fixed. That's part of the reason why you're here, because I happen to have had both fucking situations, bro. The pain and the hurt and the sorrow and the discontentment for just wanting this woman to fucking love me. Just fucking love me. What the fuck is wrong with you? While at the same time, the guilt and the shame and the constriction of the game, knowing God had called me to something so much bigger than this fucking box I was born into. I understand both of them. Only I didn't have anybody yelling at me. I had to listen to this little thing in my voice that said, fucking go. So you're on path. Do I want you to compete with me?
Yes.
Yes, please. Why?
Message gets to more people, forces you to go even higher.
Perfect. I don't want you to lose. I want you all to win big. Like massive. But there's only so much that we can do outside of what you choose to do when you're alone. No one can, there's no mastermind that can force you to do what's required when you're alone. There's no brotherhood. This is why Kevin's video is hilarious. I'm like, okay. Take that to your mortgage company and see if it'll pay your bills. Hey, can you accept my bitchy, whiny victim video as part of my mortgage payment this month? No, you cannot. Okay, sorry. Well, thought I'd try. But the problems and the challenges you're facing, they're all real. For every single one of us, they're real. And they're terrifying. Greg, we've watched you face terrifying decision after terrifying decision this year, and you've done a great job. So nothing I'm saying is about saying you haven't done anything. I'm saying you have. But I'm saying you've also got what?
Long way to go.
Long way to go, man. So we have to find ways for you to celebrate along the journey or you won't make it. You all have to find ways to find peace and wins along the way or you will not make it. If your brain thinks that you have to get all the way to the place where you're perfection, we can't celebrate the 25 pounds, which we can celebrate that. But we have to find ways to celebrate the wins, but we also have to be savage, Chris. We cannot fucking tolerate this anymore. You cannot tolerate it. You cannot tolerate it for yourself. You cannot tolerate it for your children. You cannot tolerate it for your wife. You cannot. And every week that you let go by, that you tolerate it, what you're saying is, fuck you. And everyone has their thing. Everyone has their thing. For some of you, it's kids. For some of you, it's your confusion in your relationship with God. For some of you, it was your body. You find new power in your body and you're like, cool, I found it. Now I got it. But we have to celebrate along the way. If you don't celebrate along the way, it is too exhausting. You'll quit. You'll quit. If I only focus on the 100 a week we get of the Kevin O'Yorks from the public media that talk shit to me, if I only focus on that, then I start thinking like I'm doing nothing. I start thinking, oh, fuck, man, I'm doing nothing. And I'm not creating anything. But I don't. I create an isolated world inside of a castle, and I don't give a fuck. I do what I do. But for years, I couldn't do that because there was no castle. There was just a fucking tent. So people could come up on the outside of my tent, and they could fucking piss on it. And I'd have to come out and fuck people up for pissing on my tent. And then I'd stay up at night because I was worried about my kids in the tent and people fucking pissing on my children. So I'd stay up all night long, and then I'd be up all day and up all night and all day, and I'd be fucking exhausted. I'd be fucking bleeding out my eyeballs. I didn't give a shit. I was like, I'm going to fucking win. I'm going to fucking win. But this decision to win in business is a decision. For these men to win, Corwin, you have to come with 10 times the fire they're willing to come with. Otherwise, they'll never hear you. You'll just be a nice guy who talks nice, who puts up some nice frames and some nice conversation, and it's nice. You getting what I'm talking about?
Clear.
Right now, I and God own this room. He used me as a weapon to torch and seal the frame around this room. And then he sucked his spirit down into this place. This stillness is where you have to learn. And you have to be able to operate in this stillness when you're walking into rooms, Elzar, with your teams and shit's shaky, you have to be able to create this space. Now you have to be able to create this space with your wife and your children. The sacred space of fire. They have to feel that they are safe from the fire that you have built to protect the kingdom. So when my wife looks at me, she looks at me with eyes of, my husband's a fucking psychopath. And that's why I trust him. Because I'm a controlled psychopath. There's a difference. Challenge is to become a controlled psychopath. What do you have to be first, Nick?
An uncontrolled psychopath.
An uncontrolled psychopath. Otherwise, you don't even know what it is to be a psychopath. How can you be a controlled psychopath if you've never experienced being an uncontrolled psychopath? That means you're going to have to say some shit that's going to land wrong. You're going to have to try some shit that's not going to work. You're going to say some things you probably shouldn't say. But you don't know anyway because you're just going to try it anyways. You're going to have to do some aggressive things in business and life that don't make sense. You're going to have to take some risks and gamble on yourself. You're going to have to be willing to stand in front and hold up the fucking flag and say, I'm the motherfucker, follow me. Stop looking around, I'm the fucking guy. Let's go. Y'all are looking around for people to follow. Don't look any longer. I'm the fucking guy to follow. Let's go. Your wife wants to hear it. Your kids want to hear it. Your clients want to hear it. Your teams want to hear it. The market wants to hear it. People are desperate for leaders right now. Desperate for leaders. Desperate. And it's only going to get worse. But that's good news for guys like us. Why, Johnny? Why is it good news for men like you and I?
Well, because we get to continue to build,
And do what inside a building?
reap the benefits of it.
Yes, after we do what with people?
If we transform them.
Sure. Do the leading them. But leadership doesn't come from a nice little scripture quote. You're going to watch. I promise you, you watch. You watch over the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to watch churches just evaporate. You're going to watch the Catholic Church, Mormon Church, you're going to watch all kinds of churches just fucking disintegrate. I'm telling you. The rising generation never has reads less of the Bible and gives less of a shit about organized religion than ever. The churches are going to fucking fail. And the producers are going to stop funding them. And then there's going to be a marketplace in a society we live in where the only people we will follow are not people who are raised to be preachers. We'll follow people who speak the word of God through fire. Just like it was in the olden days. Which again is good news if you're a man that's been preparing for these times. If you're not, well, it's all right. I'm sure there will be a man who you can get on his bus. He'll tell you what to do. So in this space, you got 5 minutes to write about your business, about your money. What has to increase in your savage behavior, divine savage behavior, to create what you want the rest of this year and next year? What are some very clear things that have to change in the way you're operating? Done great to hear. What's the next stage? What takes you one step further to hear? To hear. Hear. Knowing I could drop you and throw you out of a helicopter in New York City and you'd have business. 30 days bankrolling, with or without me. Get this? 5 minutes. No music, just quiet. Type or write. Let's go. What's one thing you know, Greg, for you? Next 30 or next year, no matter how long, like what's the thing inside the way you operate in business that in the savage container has to change, levitate, be bigger, better? What is it?
Get 100% out of fulfillment.
Okay.
And put 100% of my effort and focus into marketing and sales.
Okay. 100% out of fulfillment. How many of you know right now that this task is fucking massive? Raise your hand. Fucking massive. Massive. This is not quite probably as intense, Chris. It'd be like replacing yourself in dental, but it's like what chiropractors and doctors go through. Everyone, this is what Hans, this is what you're going through right now, trying to replace, get myself out of fulfillment. It's getting teams to be part of the experience. It's very difficult. I would even say it's more difficult than marketing is. But the crazy part is to be able to get to 100% in marketing and sales. These two things, you pull these two things off, is that guy different?
Completely.
Like a little bit or a lot different?
It's a different person.
Like legitimately. Like, so there's like you walking in right now, Greg walking in, talking to us as Greg today. Then this happens, that guy doesn't even walk down the hallway the same. Because to go to war to pull that off, that means that you leveled up as an entrepreneur. I don't know how many levels, call it 3 or 4. You had to shed, die, and be reborn. Let go, surrender, make aggressive moves, aggressive hiring moves, risk money, risk time, pour into people only to have them fucking leave. Double down on people and have them steal half your clients and fucking bail. This shit will happen. This is why a lot of people struggle to pull this off. How many times have I gutted my salon? 3 times. Every time they took half our clients. Took us 4 rounds over 6 years to get a team in a salon that was loyal, that could play, that could run, that could dance, that was game. Fucking rough. Rough. Very difficult. So there's faster and better, more efficient ways to do this than others for sure. But this means that this becomes a non-negotiable. It's like non-negotiable. Like as an idea, it's like, it's non-negotiable. Like I have to do this. I must do this. I will do this. No matter what, I will do this. Now, what if that takes you 12 months? Okay. What if it takes 36 months? Okay. But in between, does it give you a hall pass to not do this?
No, that still has to happen.
Yeah, so then guess what happens to the allotted amount of time? It's fucking a lot of time. And Matt, this is where we come back on the challenge with the family game. It's like, it's a challenge. It's a very real conversation. It's like, I mean, I leave next Wednesday, and I'll be back the night before Thanksgiving. Then I'll be here for Thanksgiving. I'll be here for 4 days, and then I'll be gone for another 7 days. I've been fucking traveling like a motherfucker. And my wife's like, how long is it gonna go on? I said, through the end of the year. I was like, why? I haven't done this in 8 years. I haven't traveled like this. I said, but to get this shit done and to lock down the game the way I know I can do this, I have to be face to face with strategic partners, and I have to be in specific rooms with people to get this shit done. It's not ideal. It's not desirable, except for it is, because it leads to the ability for me to do what? To make a reach. Do I take a risk in trying to rerun out? Matt, you were here doing this. Do I take a risk in trying to build out counsel again with a series of trainers like I had in 18?
Yep.
Fucking massive risk, dude. I've already gone down this path. Feel like we've got a more established game. Would love to have you part of that. Love like Nick to be part of that. Like there's guys in this that I believe are a great fit for pulling that off. But it's figuring out the dynamics of what has everybody work and what works best for them. Because I've got people I'll either have to forge and build here, like Jeff. You know where I found Jeff McGregor? CrossFit. Do you know what Jeff's job was before me? Failed insurance rep. Do you know what it was before that? $1,500 a month as an enterprise rent-a-car guy. And his wife worked at Lululemon. Together made their $3,000 combined. That was where Jeff started. So everyone's like, I want a Jeff. I was like, well, you better go to fucking CrossFit. Go find yourself a failed insurance rep who worked at enterprise rent-a-car. And then I want you to pour 7 years into the motherfucker. I want you to give you a chance and opportunity, etc. Or you're going to need to go hire yourself a $500,000, $750,000 a year executive who can fill the role. Well, I don't have the money. Then go find a CrossFit guy. Well, I don't want to pour into the people. There's so much work. I feel like I'm pouring all the time into the people. Yeah, that's what's required to build a business. It's crazy. I'll have guys at the highest level, high levels, like 800 million, 700 million, 1.3 billion in revenue. And they're like, coach, I feel like I'm a fucking coach all the time. I said, yeah. Everyone's a coach. Did you think you're not? Like, once you get to a certain level, that's all you are in business. You're a strategic advisor and a fucking coach. You're hurting executives all day. You're just trying to get people to stay on their fucking lanes. In their lanes. That's why I say when consultants have opinions about big business owners, but they've never built any big businesses themselves, I'm like, you can go fuck yourself. What do you have? The stress of a backpack virtual assistant? Fuck you. That guy's a pussy. He won't make decisions. The dude runs a $350 million a year business with 475 employees. You have a VA and a fucking backpack with no office out of your house. Go fuck yourself. What do you know? What do you know about the pressure this motherfucker faces? You don't. You don't have a fucking clue what this fucking guy faces. Doesn't mean he can't help. No, it doesn't mean he can't help. But what I'm saying is in this piece, like to be able to replace you means we have to get all the way up here where?
Has to be all put down into systems, taught to other people.
And then you've got to go who? You got to go find who? People who can, probably need 7 of them to equal you. And then what we got to do with these 7 people? Nick, what has to happen to these 7 people?
Got to train them, bring them up.
And half of them are what?
Idiots.
Welcome to the funnest challenge outside of pushing a person out of your penis. Probably more harder than that. That'd be probably harder for us to push people right out of our penises. Fucking. I was envisioning like a hot dog in a microwave, just fucking starts ripping. Like one of those alien movies where the alien comes out, it's like, blah, baby out your penis. Bad. Bad.
Too far.
Too far.
Those things that sometimes you wish you didn't hear.
What are you doing?
Okay, so this is a big one. How many of you know that you have these same challenges for you? Raise your hand. So like no matter how hard you are, like at a certain level, Phil, this is why I say you've got to make a decision. Because you're either going to go Michael G. Isom style, which is great. That's what Mike loves. Mike makes $1 million+ a year, $1.5 million. He has 1 assistant. He has an amazing office in his house. He's got a big ass garage. He fucking loves what he does, dude. He loves it. He's been making $1 million+ a year for years and years and years. He has almost no expenses. He has 1 amazing assistant in Arizona, and he services amazing clients, and he loves what he fucking does. He don't want to build a big business. It's not his jam. Doesn't like managing people. He sucks at it. So trying to direct people, he's not real good at it. Being your advisor, fucking solid. Being a guy with 7 people on the team trying to get people lined up to do shit, fucking difficult. Can't do it. He cannot do it. He cannot. He's 51, 52 years old. He's not going to learn it. It's not his name. So he had to make a decision in his business, which is, am I a big business like Patrick Donahoe? Or am I Garrett Gunderson? No. I'm Mike Isom, which means I'm right here. And you might find working 7 clients as the CFO, sitting on board as a fractional CFO at $150,000 a year with profit sharing on all those businesses with you, with a small little army of team with you with 5, 6 people, that's the greatest model ever. You make plenty of money, you make tons of profit, you love what you do, you love your clients, and it's the kind of stress that you desire. You desire that stress. You don't get to avoid the stress, but you can choose the kind of stress you want to experience. Trust me. There's been plenty of times, Greg, in my attempt to outsource or to replace myself, I've just thought, why am I doing this? Why don't I just, be myself and have 10 clients and be done? Just fucking be done. Like, why do I keep trying to fucking scale this thing? Why do I keep trying to do this over and over again? It's a question I had to come to terms with. And this time I'm ready to do it different than I did last time. This is very challenging. Are you gonna lose your mind doing this?
For a period of time, yeah.
Yeah, for a period of time. And then you'll lose your mind trying to keep it in play. So once you get it built, then you'll lose your mind for another 3 to 5 years just trying to keep it together. And 10 to 12 years from now, you'll have a fucking system that's called awesome, and people want to interview you on podcasts and be like, oh God, Greg, your cock's so fucking big. How did you do this? Well, I paid off my mortgage. Go fuck yourself. You did what? You forgot where you came from? Key to my success, paying off my mortgage and maxing out my 401k. Holy fuck. You've obviously become unplugged from where the fuck you started. To get to where you want to go means you've got to settle into the fact that it's a war zone for how long? Years. We don't even try to get to the finish line. But that means that inside the wars, you've got to find what?
period of time to celebrate.
which you should be celebrating because you've done great shit this year. Super proud of you. This is the next voyage because this is the current choke point. This is the current choke point. ClickFunnels had to make a decision back 2.5 years ago. Russell Brunson and Todd came together and they were calling me during this too. And they were like, we don't know what we want to do because they had a liquidity opportunity to sell ClickFunnels. Both of them had more money they could have spent the rest of their lives. Legitimately, like done. But they felt this, they were like, what the fuck else are we going to do? Like, we don't know what else we're going to do. Well, I want some purpose. So for 2.5 years, they took zero money from the business. Poured 100% of the profits into hiring people, building process, building systems, and building their software to be what it is today. So they had to make a decision where they were going to go with the business. And that doubled down. They took their first money from the business last month in 2.5 years. All the rest of it was living on personal investments, personal cash, etc., but no money from the company. Now, they had 3 mega big events happen in a row between Funnel Hacking Live, their challenge launch, and their Software 2.0 launch. They're doing 1,000+ people a day on their platform subscribing, new subscribers. They're fucking murdering it. But they ran the risk. And there were at least 100 times between the last 2.5 years they thought the whole thing was going to blow up on themselves and they're going to go bankrupt. People don't see that shit on stage at Funnel Hacking Live in front of 5,000 people running around with their fucking entourages and their cameras and their backpack coaches. Like, they don't see that shit. They don't understand the risks they took. I do. I was there. I watched it. I watched the decision. I watched them roll all the fucking chips on and say, fuck it, let's go. Worst case scenario is what, Matt?
Fail.
We fail. And we start over. So if you really want this, you're going to have to be willing to what?
Fail.
Yeah. And in your willingness to fail, you'll do what's required to win. There's no playing safe on this. There's all fucking in. That is, I'm going to treat Dropflow as a real business. I'm going to build a real company. There's no halfway in for me. I'm all fucking in on this. All in on this. This means you need your first critical what?
Hire.
That's it. You need your first right-hand man. Somebody you can trust and pour into that's going to be with you for a long time. You need your Jeff. For you to build this thing out, you cannot do it by yourself. You have to have somebody else who wakes up every day and is worried about your family, about you, and about them. Jeff's best interest in his family is my family. Period. That's not for everybody. Jeff's ridden every fucking road in this game. He's ridden every up, every down. He's watched everyone leave, everyone come. That's why he's very skeptical when anyone shows up here. He's like, we'll see if they fucking last. This is literally what he tells me when they show up. We'll see. Because he's watched people come in and be crushed under the weight of this place and then fucking bounce. But he's my guy. I care about his family. I care about where he's going. He's my guy. Sammy Finlay, my guy. He's my guy. Sam Polsafi for years was my guy. Now Sam's doing his own thing. I'm super happy and proud of him. But I had to pour incredible amounts of time into Sam. Corwin, why am I making you move here?
So I can get forged.
Yeah, so I can sit every single day and walk with that motherfucker out on the beach and punch him in the fucking throat. Every fucking day. That's exactly what I did with Sam Polsafi. Literally took a piece of granite and just motherfucked him every single day until he was ready to wage war. And then once he was, man, then he became something of his own design. It was like, that was unexpected. That was better than I could have expected. And we probably could have done without those 4 things, but we appreciate that. That comes with it. You've got to find your first guy. Who would that position be? What position would that be in your business?
For me to get out of fulfillment, it's going to have to be somebody that's that COO type role.
Okay.
That is handled, and I don't default to the things that I'm good at and want to do.
So we need somebody who loves the fuck out of the detailed process of the game. Yeah. And because the crazy part is, like, Runar and I, by the way, went back and forth about this. Runar forever has said he was a direct response marketer. The more time goes on, we think he's less a direct response marketer and more of an operations and process guy, which is wild. But he rejected this forever. He's like, no, I'm a marketer. I'm a marketer. He's really good at that too. But like he found out he was actually better at backside process and sequence the way his brain thinks. So we got one hire that's coming down the pipe. This guy's got to be on the team sometime in the next 2 to 3 months for you to have a shot. Because what it won't work is you waking up surrounded by a bunch of minions. That's hard. That's the move I'm making again. I'm surrounding myself with men who legitimately could run their own kingdoms. And it's requiring me to give and to invest and to sacrifice and to pour into. And I know I'm entering a season of fucking blood war. I know what I'm taking on. I know the risks I'm running. I know the probability of success is high and low at the same time. Because in order for it to win, that means everybody I'm enrolling has to do what?
Be all in.
They have to be all in. If they're fucking halfway in, at least that arm won't work. This is what you're asking for, Alzar, from your core teams. You're not asking for them to come work for you. You're asking them to go to war with you. It's totally different. Come work here and go to fucking war with me. This is what you're knocking on the door of. If war is what you want, I got plenty of it. If putting together accountability charts is what you want, I'm the wrong guy. I'm not your Huckleberry. If war zone and bloody accountability charts are what you're after, we can do that. But there's going to be a lot of blood before there's accountability charts. Because a lot of these fuckers don't want them. Guess what they need? They need fucking all of it. I've already seen your energy. I've already watched you lean in. I've watched what you do. You're not asking for permission. You're a different guy than the guy I knew. You're just fucking going. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You're just fucking stabbing and punching fuckers. I like it. I'll work with that. That's Saul to Paul. I can guide a guy who already wants to punch everybody. We'll just guide the punches. And then let you get in your lane and let you do the shit that you're fucking great at. You got a home here if you want it. You got it. And this will be bigger than you ever could do on your own. And it doesn't have to be forever. I'm very clear also that many of you fuckers coming here are coming because you're kings who are learning to reclaim your crowns. You're going to pour into this place for a season and I'll pour into you. And then you'll be loyal and go play. Go build your shit. Or you could be here for a long time. Did I not tell you that? This isn't for life. God's got something to do with you. He's got something to do with you too if you'll receive it. But it's going to require you three not to submit to me, to submit to the war again. If you submit to the war, there's rebirth here. I can line them up. But as I've told you before, when I line them up and I fire a nuclear bomb into the fucking bunker and they all come out without arms and legs, I need somebody fucking put them back together. Because what I won't do is continue to build a field of bloody bodies with no one to lead these men. I'll just sell books. And it'll just take 35 years, if ever. Or we can have this room filled, gentlemen, 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, with men coming here looking for what, Nick?
Just transformation. And go after it.
They're coming for money, but they're really coming for rebirth and life and transformation. You don't give a shit about all the other stuff. All the other shit you had to learn because it was the only way you knew how to make money because you were too big a pussy to do the thing you were asked to do. And I get it because I was the fucking biggest pussy that ever walked the fucking planet, dude. I was embarrassing. I was fucking embarrassing. I can't believe my wife even fucked me as many times as she did every year. I mean, my left hand wouldn't fuck me during those years, just my right hand. And he's a fucking pussy. He's a total sellout. This is like one of those like tense like moments. This is my Sean Whalen silence moment, only I'm not quiet. Getting this? You have to stand in rooms and do your way this way. You have to stand with your teams and talk to them your way that's like my way. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're not saying it my way. You're saying it your way, but you're saying it with the same fire, same source that will come through you differently. It 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 will come through you differently and 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 you differently. You're called, dentistry is just your beginning fucking game. But until you figure that fucking game out, bro, you won't even get to the game you've been called to play. You're going to get skills, hard skills, in order to do the thing you're called to do. It's why you're in my room. Hard skills to lead a movement. Soft skills don't build movements. Hard skills do. I have to leave this environment. Then I have to get real tactical. And then I got to do this. Get out of fulfillment. I'm still not out. I'm trying to get out of fulfillment for like 7 years. Still not out. It's hard. Still not 100% marketing sales. What are you guys getting from this? Hans, what are you getting from this?
You made a comment about war, and one of the things I put down was surviving the war is not winning the war.
Say it again.
Surviving the war is not winning the war.
What do you mean by that?
It's a matter of perception. One, you can lose and survive. And if you don't win, you're still going to be a slave. You're still subjected to the wills of other. For me, in our business, we survived the war, but we didn't win it. And your fire here kind of highlighted that, just a mindset. It's a shift. I've been pushing it in many ways and bringing massive fire with my partners. It's making great shifts, but there's still this idea that we survived and it's become an excuse instead of shifting the story to fucking win and go back to war. We were in all of those battles for a reason to get to this point, for the hardening. And now it's time to wage another one, just differently.
This attitude, it's an energy and an attitude so different.
Yep.
It's not get punched and get in a fight. It's totally fucking different. I may still get hit the same amount, but the energy I have leaning into that fight is totally different. Totally different. Nick, what are you seeing about this?
It's time for everyone in here to actually execute and go. Too many of us sit, to your point, Hans, too many of us sit back and we try to be tactical without going into the war to actually win. It's time to go in with the mindset and the desire to win, not just to make it to the other side and maybe have a couple of meetings each year, say we did a few things.
So to piggyback on that, Coach, and for Nick, that was the first thing I put down was, where do I need to increase the savagery? Is increasing how quickly we execute and not hold ourselves to perfection. Because too often when we're surviving, there's this risk that when I go back out, I'm going to lose again, so it has to be perfect. Rather than just go. Again, same principles we talk about, but it's just finding the right perspective for it to resonate with each person in the room or on the screen. And that's coupled with the video today. There's always going to be naysayers no matter what. Anything that we launch, anything that I launch, there's going to be shitheads. And the next thing I put down was just fuck them. They're cunts.
That was a fun one. I'm legitimately going to use that for marketing. It's going to be great. I'm going to get him all the publicity that he wants and give him his email in the subject line of it. It's like, cool. You want to dance con el diablo? All right, anda entonces. ¿Quieres pelear conmigo? Estoy aquí. Y nada, nos vamos a hacerlo de video. Vamos a hacerlo de carne, güey. ¿Ah? ¿Quieres meterle como así? Te voy a matar. No sabes lo que está haciendo. Está gritando en un teléfono. Puta de madre. Speed of execution, willingness to lose. Fuck them. So this piece right here, speed of execution, willingness not to lose, comes back to it, which is the willingness to go. But here's the piece, not to pay your bills. You can't play to pay your bills. You can't play to pay your bills. If you play business to pay your bills, you'll always make just enough to pay your bills. You can't play business just to get to abundance. In my experience, you have to participate. Everyone I know who is safe does not play like they're safe, but they're completely safe. But they don't play like they're safe. They don't act like they're safe. If you sit in meetings with them, you think that the fucking world's going to end. And you're like, how? Like, and I'll know some of their situations and I'm laughing because I'm like, dude, you're just like me. It doesn't matter how much money is there. A lot of these guys take the money from their business and personal accounts and they swipe them to zero at the end of every month. So they wake up in the first week of every month and they're fucking broke. I know entire entrepreneurs that will drain all of the money from their business the last day of the month, every single month, and then force the business to produce or start firing people. They'll say, all you fuckers are going to feel the pressure of this place, not just me. So guess what? We're all broke again. So unless we hit break even by this date, we're going to start letting people go. What the fuck? We just did this revenue last month. I don't give a shit. You think I built this business for you guys? You guys are with me in this. You want to win with me? You're going to feel the pain with me. You don't just get a benefit from the upside. You're going to feel the pressure I feel in your dance. I'm not saying that's the best strategy, but I'm saying this is it's a way of building this mentality of speed of execution. Go, 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 go. Willingness to lose. We're all going to fucking lose and we're all going to win together. That's it. We're not going to just participate. I'm not going to be the one who risks losing and winning while you get to be comfortable. No. We're all going to go. I was talking about this with one of our guys who's one of his executives was just like not getting shit done. This was like fucking horribly not getting shit done for the last 3 months. Finally lets her go. And she's like, I've just really appreciated the last couple of months. So I have the space to be able to deal with some personal issues, etc. And he's over here losing his mind because the business has lost $6.4 million in the past 5 months of his personal cash going back into the business. Well, this woman's been working on her personal life, collecting a high-paid salary from him, not solving any of the problems. And he's calling me losing his fucking mind. Losing his mind. A $700,000 a year employee who's done shit nothing for 90 fucking days. Well, he's had to funnel millions of dollars back into the business to hit payroll and save the company. And she's like happy that she got to deal with her personal issues for the last couple months. And he's like, Coach, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? I was like, welcome to human beings, bro. Human beings are fucking weirdos. You and I are both one of them. We do weird, stupid shit sometimes. What are we going to do different about this going forward? That's all. Sucks deeply. What can you do about it now? Nothing. Can we hire different next time? Sure. Can we look at things different? Yeah. How did she get away with this for 90 days? Well, I wasn't holding her accountable. Yep. I get it. So this piece of speed of execution, willingness to lose, we tie this up over here to Hans, or to Greg's, 100% out of film and 100% into marketing and sales. Here's the crazy part. If this thing just happened right here, if this just happened for most of you inside this room, just these two things, if that's all that happened, was just these two things. Matt, even in your world, you had one guy who was like legitimately on your team running the consulting, and all you did was market and sell every day. If you pulled that shit off with somebody who was qualified to do this, the business would triple in size.
Yeah, the problem is that people don't want to get out of fulfillment because that's their comfort zone and they don't know how to market and sell. They don't want to make the commitment to move to the other thing because that is the place where they find the most comfort.
Yeah, well, and what you'll find is even inside my world, for me, as a marketer and a closer, there's a piece of me that even my ego goes, oh, fuck, bro, what if you forgot how to do it? What if you make these moves, but then you can't get that shit done? Now, then I tell that guy he's a fucking pussy, and then I go get 1,000 leads in the next 5 days. But the piece that there's still the question of fuck. So another reason why people won't get out of this is because they don't believe they can pull that off.
Another reason they don't get out of it is because they don't trust the people to be able to fulfill. So that's the shit that you're going through. That's the shit that I'm going through, trying to figure out how the fuck do I let go of all of that, knowing in a time where there's a fucking murder scene in every direction in the real estate space, I can step in and have a conversation with somebody and close it. Yep. My people, so my shit.
What's yours?
Weaponize my agents. I'm gonna coach them to be closers. Like that's where I'm at with one side, and then we have our support team. But it's the same fucking situation where how much time and energy do I really spend coaching them to be closers, knowing that at any point in time, because of the way the market is, they could just get the fuck up and go.
Or just quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Kevin Ward's facing this right now. He's got people, he has a huge meeting in North Carolina. I said, here's how your meeting's going to go. You're going to get everyone in the room to decide whether they're still going to be in this industry. And if they're going to be in the industry, stay in the room. And if they're not going to be in the industry, kick them out of the fucking room in the first 20 minutes. You have no time to spend with people who are outing themselves, who are questioning being in the industry. Yeah, your game has to be right now over the next 7 to 14 days. You're either you're either game to play or you're not. If you're not game to play, you're getting none of my time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay to train you to be a closer if you are going to bounce 2 months from now, which means I need to know your economic situation where you're at. I need to know how much money you have in the bank. I need to know how much savings you have. I need to know how much long you can go without making any money. What is the only way you'll get buy-in is you have to know what you're facing when you're committing to them. You're saying you're asking me to commit to you in a carnage situation, in an industry that's being attacked and destroyed. Another thing you run into too is your top agents. Now the recruiting game is going to begin. Because now all of the top agents are going to become like the hottest chicks in the fucking bar, dude. And everybody's circling, looking to pick up the hottie with the body. So then you're like, how do I retain these guys? You have data on everyone. You have data that is bigger. You have data about where they are, and you have data about where they want to go. And then all of that is being looped into and woven into everything that you're speaking, training, and talking about. But you definitely are making a decision right here, because the ones who are going to tell you this right now, you got somebody that can't pay their bills 4 weeks from now, like they're out of money in 4 weeks, they're done. You may or not take that person on.
Right. Yeah.
Because the amount of scarcity that person is going to be in trouble, right? It's like, it's a lot. So now I'm trying to teach you, I'm training you to close, but now I got to help you deal with your scarcity issues and the fact you're not getting laid and your wife just left you. I'm dealing with a lot of shit here. These are a lot of variables to try to help bring stability in an already chaotic environment. In the Spartan 300, when King Leonidas doesn't allow the fucking dude with the hurt, jacked up body, and he's doesn't mean this dude couldn't kill some people. He definitely could. Could definitely kill some people.
He's weak.
But he was weak and he was a risk to the unit. Didn't mean he couldn't kill some people. I'm sure he could fuck some people up. Could at least hold his shield a little bit. Could definitely stab. Could guaranteed take a few people out. But in the lineup of the cohesion of the team, he's a liability. So there's going to be people on your team right now that as much as you like them, they got to go. Because they're already looky-looing. And you're like, if I have to keep coming back and motivating you to stay on the front line and keep fucking swinging your sword, we need to be done right now. If I have to wake up and remind you one more fucking time that we're at war, you're better off going away so I know I don't have to even pretend you have my back. I need to go into battle knowing you have my back or you do not. Because the move I'm going to make assumes you're going to cover my 6. And if you don't cover my 6 and I get fucking shot again, I swear to God, I'll fucking kill you myself. So there's no time for like niceness.
Yeah.
Not right now. These their families are on the line, their mortgages are on the line, and the big challenge you run into in the next 2 months in your industry is the psychology of the banking, mortgage, and broker world right now. They're heading into the vortex, and most of them are doing what right now in their heads? They're hoping what?
Shit changes.
And because Halloween just happened, and Thanksgiving's coming, and Christmas is coming, and New Year is coming, the goose is getting fat, and ho, ho, ho is coming, and I might even fuck a few times and get drunk and forget all about it. What's happening January 4th?
Reality hits, and it's still the fucking same market. It's going to get worse.
And you're more broke than you were before.
And you haven't done shit for the last 90 days to be able to put yourself in a position to actually execute.
And most of them will just drink and sedate through the holidays, just pretending like it's going to be okay. And I know because me and my guys were doing exactly that this exact season in 07. It's going to go around. It's going to turn around. It's going to turn around. We're good, bro. It's going to turn around. Shit's going to go back. Rates are going to come back down. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. January 4th. What the fuck? It didn't turn around. It's funny when I think about it now. It wasn't funny at all when it happened to us. And most of the real estate brokers and most of the mortgage brokers and most of the financial advisors in the game right now are all guys who got in the last 10 years who only know up markets. They don't know down markets, they don't know fucking chaos, and they don't know blood in the streets, and they don't know it with political corruption, they don't know it with fucking race riots, they don't know it with COVID protocols, they don't know it with an online social media chaotic environment. They don't know it through. Dude, this is way worse than 08. Way worse. Now, good news is, even now in 08, there's still a percentage of the game who fucking took over and ran everything since 08 till now. Literally, they ran it all until now. A lot of those guys are now making a decision. Do we want to do this again? Do we want to do this again? Because we already did it once. We could just tap and cash out and be done. That's Mike Hardy and a lot of these guys in the mortgage world. They're like, should we stay in? Should we not stay in? I don't know. I don't know what we should do. We were talking about this on Monday. Cam was going with Hardy. He's like, fuck, dude, I can't be nice anymore. I was like, no, there's no time for nice, bro. Your people are all going to fucking starve and your kingdom is going to burn if you don't get isolated down to who's got game. Yeah. Whoever has game, keep them. Everybody else got to go. And it will be hard. There's going to be some really nice people that you've done fact maps with that you know in yourself intuitively. They cannot fight in today's environment. And every lead you give them is money gone from your family. It's your children not eating. I made these mistakes, dude. I didn't make cuts quick enough. I didn't get rid of people fast enough. And I gave way too much credit to people to survive who had only known up games and winning when it was all green. It's easy to be tough. I was watching this show. I was like, oh, it's the new Game of Thrones. I watched like 2 episodes and then I got bored. What's it called?
House of Dragons.
Yeah. House of Dragons. And she's deciding which soldier she's going to take with her to go on some voyage. And there was all these like knights. And she asked one question. Which of these knights actually has battle experience? All the rest of them had been like sparring on horses and jousting and sparring with each other. She's like, give me that one. I remember watching that. Again, that was my last episode and I probably will never watch it again. But it was enjoyable. Not really. It wasn't really enjoyable. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, man, at least give me some sex scenes. Give me something in here. This like spice the shit up. There's none of it. Sitting in that environment, though, she chose the one. That's why, for me, it's the same. It's like, I'm happy to compensate better if I got a guy I know can fight.
Even the ones that know how to fight are struggling to get the mindset right to be able to go double down on what they know will work.
But
That's where I'm struggling.
they've never faced this.
Yeah.
They've never faced this.
Yeah.
Greatest challenge we have in my junior and high school, stupid. I'm gonna give you a high school story, 32 seconds. We didn't lose any games the whole season. See, junior and high school. Number 1 team in the state of Washington, 5A, nationally ranked, hadn't lost all year long. Never been down, beat every team, got the playoff second round, team we'd beat in the regular season. We got down by 3. We didn't know how to play behind. We didn't know how to play with like 3 minutes on the clock left. We fucking lost. And I think about that game all the time. Our biggest issue was we had never lost. We had never felt the pressure of coming back with 2 minutes on the clock and charging the field. We had fucking run up everyone. So when these guys came back and fucking punched us in the mouth and put a field goal in on a muddy field with less than 2 minutes on the clock and we got to drive 85 yards on a muddy field, we were fucked. Nobody knew. We didn't know how to play under that pressure. So we didn't. We lost. Most of these guys have no idea what is it to play. The team that beat us had lost to us. They went back and licked their fucking wounds and came back. I knew a bunch of those dudes that were playing college ball, so same thing. They were like, we were super fucking pissed, dude. Our coaches beat the shit out of us for losing to you guys. So by the time we came to you, we were ready. These guys don't have the savagery that you had. They don't know.
I got my answer.
Okay.
I got to take those agents that have the ability to stop being the nice guy. We've been nice for all this time and it's worked. Now I need to show them the savage. I have to, without a doubt.
And they want to see you put the helmet on,
Yeah.
grab a sword,
Yeah.
grab your shield, and say, come with me.
Yeah.
King Leonidas style, to the front of the gate. Stand in the front line. Let's fucking go. This is why even now inside the space, like coaches and consultants are flocking to me like crazy. Like, how you fucking doing this? I was like, motherfucker, I never stopped doing what you're doing. Only difference is I built something. Like, you have to be willing to blood fight on the front line in today's marketplace. So this society is fucking crazy. People are nuts. Where you at, Dr. Boyd?
You said something at WarriorCon that I forget what day it was. I think it was like day 4. You said something to the effect of, if you had this, if you came at your customers, clients, with this same intensity, what would that do to your business? That clicked, and it's clicking again now, because as soon as the thrill and everything in WarriorCon started to damp down, went back home, started taking care of shit at home, and you've been on an initial consult call with me. You know what it's like. I'll go, I'll find out where are the problem points, where are the issues. I go into that diagnosis type mode. Then at the end, it has to switch. It has to switch over to like sales mode. That's when it gets soft.
Because your sales has to be happening the whole time. When did I start selling at Warrior Con 4?
I mean, months in advance?
Yeah.
Months.
In the first 20 minutes of coming on stage from the video. What was the first video? The critical decisions. Everything I was doing was selling. So one of the challenges a lot of you have too is you'll look at I'm going to do the thing I'm going to do and then I'm going to sell at the end. Instead of selling is what I do from the beginning. Selling the whole time. So all I'm doing by the end is I'm opening up a gap and offering you a path to the promised land that you desire. So I'm selling the whole time, but there's a lean in on the front side. If you come across as like a psycho doctor, you're going to polarize.
Wow.
Like a crazy doctor. Like you pick a fight in the marketplace with the medical community at a certain level, with traditional doctors. You pick a fight with customers. You come up with an ad, our marketing video. So you're an entrepreneur. You believe in yourself. You run an empire. Yet you walk in and trust anyone with the label doctor on their chest. You know anything about these guys? You know where they went to school? Do you know what history they have? Do you know what pharmaceutical companies paying them off to sell you what they sell you? Do you even understand why they're doing it? Why do you trust them the minute you walk in and sit down? Just because they have a white jacket? How do you know they didn't order that on Amazon? My question for you is, you would never do this with an executive, but you'll walk into any urgent care around here and trust any Tom, Dick, and Harry jackass with your family, your children, and your wife's future. It makes no sense, does it? And yet society has gotten you to believe, Big Pharma has gotten you to believe you should believe the guy with the white jacket on because he's in authority. From the time you were young, you were trained to believe this shit. I'm here to tell you it's a lie. Big Pharma's after your kids. Big Pharma's after you. Big Pharma's after everything that you have. The marketplace wants to enslave you. I am here to set you free. How many entrepreneurs are getting attention with a doctor wearing a white jacket who's saying this shit in an ad? Raise your hand.
Because most doctors are like half dead.
Yeah.
Or greater.
That's for sure.
Seriously.
I went in to go get my Achilles worked on. I had a gaping wound because my stitches were poking out years ago.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
And there was like a big hole right here and it was just oozing for like a year because I didn't want to have surgery for like the 5th time on it. So I just like tape it up and my mom put essential oils on it. She's like, is this gonna get better? Like, Ma, you think this essential oil is gonna work? She's like, yeah, it's gonna work good. And I was like, fuck those doctors, put some oil on it. I was like, there's an oil for that. I'm like, okay. So I go in and I sit down with this guy over at the Orange County, whatever the fuck hospital. I don't remember what the name is. I go in there and I sit down and the guy is like a specialist and he was recommended by the insurance company. So I went over and meet with this guy. I come in the morning, it's like a Friday, and he's exhausted. Like I'm the first appointment of the day, 7 a.m. He walks in, he's exhausted. Dude woke up 15 minutes ago for sure. Maybe like an hour before. Comes in with his coffee. He's like 64 years old. He walks in, he's just like, okay. He'd already done the x-rays. He looks at my ankle, looking at the x-rays. He's like, all right, we can get you. The appointment's 10 minutes. Appointment's 10 minutes. I look at him and I said, bro, you look pretty tired. And I'm concerned because I'm like, you're going to put me under general anesthesia and you're going to operate on my fucking Achilles tendon. This affects me the rest of my life. And this is just another procedure. So then I thought, I want to see how much this guy makes doing this. So I get the printout from the hospital. The entire procedure is $23,000 for this surgery. How much does doctor make?
$1,800.
You're a fucking doctor, you know. I don't know if it was 1,800, it was close, it was like 1,500. I remember looking at the number and going, it was on the line item. It was the medical doctor right here. The surgeon was making 1,800 fucking, less than my girls make charging for natural beaded row hair extensions. Mm-hmm. This fucker's gonna operate on my Achilles. I'm a goddamn athlete. Are you fucking kidding me right now? $1,800 with this exhausted fucker who sold out to the hospital system because he can't market? Mm-hmm. That's why they sell out, because they can't market. I was like, no. So what did I do? Instead, I flew to my surgeon who had originally done the surgery in Salt Lake City, Utah, who runs his own surgery center, who has 3 different practice locations, has 4 different doctors that work for him, and he made about $15,000 to $18,000 because he owns a surgery center, he owns everything. And I flew back and forth 9 times after the surgery to get it checked up on because I didn't trust the fucking doctor with what little he was making that he would give a fuck. That's the hospital system. The hospital system is completely fucking broken. Who's taking a stand for that? Not you, not yet. You're taking it behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, not frontline. What happens when you're frontline? Well, I'll tell you what happens. You're going to be outcast by your own community.
I already am.
Yeah, and that's okay. But there's a war zone that you have to pick in that place, which is saying, I must be willing to go hard in the fucking paint on my offer. If you don't believe in it, it's totally different. If you don't believe in it. That's why I come so hard in what I sell and what I offer. We close hard because I'm like, what's the alternative? You can join another jerk off mastermind group and do what? You can go to EO, go YPO, go to fucking Vistage. You're better off to jerk off a sandpaper at Home Depot aisle 4 every week. You fucking kidding me? I went to a Vistage meeting. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? They call up the happy clappy trainer. He gets up there. The dude's like 65 years old, Nick. He pulls out the flip chart. It's on a Zoom. You can tell it was the first time he'd ever done a Zoom. He had a flip chart on the Zoom. And I'm sitting there watching this, and they were so excited to have me part of it because they're like, maybe I'll be part of the Vistage locally. Let's see how this works out. They started the presentation, and I was like, is this reincarnated Zig Ziglar? I don't know what the fuck's happening right now. Is this real? Is this serious? No, they're serious about this shit right now. What are your alternatives? When I look out into the entrepreneurial space, what are the alternatives for entrepreneurs? Truly, truly. Nothing. Not really. Just pretend groups to hang out with and jerk each other off and pretend like they're getting shit done. So I had to pick a fight. Who else am I picking a fight with in the church world? Who do I pick a fight with constantly?
Pastors.
Pastors. I got a lot of pastors who do not like me. I've been uninvited to text threads. I mean, I really, that one hurt. And between that and Kevin, Leary's cunt video, I'm like, you're thinking I'm gonna shut Warrior down.
Hello, Larry.
Delicious.
Phil, what do you know?
I wrote down be a savage CFO and what that really means. So, and there's a way I show up with my team, and then there's a way I show up with my clients as well. And it needs to be the same guy. There's a way I need to associate with and talk to other executives who are my clients. And then there's a way I need to show up with my team that this is how we get shit done. And this is what's acceptable and not acceptable. And there was something I got into the weeds on Friday, and I found some shit that wasn't up to standard, and I flipped. I mean, I was like, this is ridiculous. And I was like, and I had a call with my guy, my number 2 guy, and told him, like, we need to fix this, but I need to put some parameters out there. Like, look, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to get it done by. And if you guys can't do this, then we're just not going to do it. Because the team that I need to lead needs to be able to execute this shit. And it's the same with my clients. I mean, the ones that want to work with me one-on-one, we talk too much and not execute enough. There's not enough urgency.
And guess what they want you to do? Punch them in the throat and tell them what to do. That's really what they want. Mm-hmm. They don't want chitty chat time. They want you to come in, punch them in the throat and say, listen, you hired me for a reason. You're paying me $150,000 a year to sit here on your board as a CFO. I'm a fractional CFO for you. My job is to help you project forecasting and make sure your numbers are right. If your numbers aren't right, your business goes down. Your business goes down, there's no vacation with the kids this weekend. There's no new house next summer. There's nothing. This business burns because of your math. It will be on you and it will be on me, which means the minute you hired me, my job is to make sure you keep your shit fucking focused. So let's look at the numbers. They're not pretty. You got your big boy pants on? Do I need to run down to CVS and get you a big man diaper? Because you might shit yourself over what you're about to see right now. You ready? Don't worry, we'll get it fixed. Here's what it is. You ready? What is this big number right here? I'll tell you what that is. Go fuck yourself is what that number is. Do you see this shit? This is what you've been tolerating. Are you okay with this number? What does this number make you feel? Sit down. Don't go anywhere. Sit down. What does this number make you feel? I'll sit down with you. Let's both look at this number together, shall we? I mean, I'm not getting a hard on looking on it at all. I mean, I don't know where you're at. Maybe you do. Move your hands. You got a hard on? All right, didn't think so. Where are we at? funny enough, guess what? He wants you to talk to him like that. He'll trust you more. Because in his world, how many people talk to him this way?
Nobody.
Nobody. Nobody does. Corin.
And entrepreneurial CEOs feel out of fucking control.
They want to trust you,
Yeah.
but they won't trust you if you don't come in with authority. You don't have to get it right. You have to come in with authority and say, I got this. And then what I think you find is a lot of times they'll let go faster. We're like, okay, fuck, thank God. You got it? Whoo! Thank you. Go. Do whatever the fuck you need to do. Do that shit, yeah. And the right ones are the ones I was talking about before. They don't even see it. It's line item for them. You're an executive assistant on the board. And Nick.
For all of you guys, I want you to see it's all coming together. John, we talked on the walk and talk. Phil, you're talking now. Hans mentioned it. Like, you guys have to take what we've been talking about today, the psychopath. Be the savage psychopath inside your business, inside your marketplace that is willing to execute no matter what. Because when you're the savage psychopath, beaten, bruised, battered, it doesn't matter. You continue to go forward. There's over 100 men invited to today via virtual. We have 17. Out of that 17, how many are willing to actually be savage? Maybe half? Probably you guys here, 2 or 3 on the virtual. Or you can go what most warrior men will end up doing that have done in the past. We can worry about production and we can become safe. And when shit gets hard because we're a real estate agent and we only have 12 months of cash, I'm going to go produce. Or I can be a savage and just keep going on the front line. I can be that one agent that makes it out. I can be the one CFO, the coach, the insurance guy. I can be the savage that executes. But it's going to hurt a lot. You're going to lose a lot of friends. Like, point blank. I don't even know enough about the tech world to know if you're going to lose friends, but that's to get a new COO, that's going to be, you might as well just be a one-man shop than train someone else. So it's either produce and be comfortable or go change worlds. That's it.
You have to shoot past. One of the things that's nice about living in Orange County is my standard for money went where?
Way high.
My expectation for making it, people are like, well, why is there so much money around here? Because it's so expensive to live here. People expect to make money here. People expect to be wealthy here. It's not weird. Not the lone guy in your community who wants to be wealthy. Everyone you talk to wants to be fucking wealthy. And 98% of the entitled little fucking teenagers around here think they deserve to be wealthy. They don't. They all think they do because they all live in wealth. Even the brokest among us here along the coastline are more wealthy than most of the small communities across this country. We have $1.6 million condos. So making a little bit of money here is making $350,000, $250,000, $150,000. Like you're not making a ton of money. You're making good money. It's not uncommon you see a supercar here. It's not weird. It's not weird you see a Rolls Royce. I go to places where people see Mercedes and they get excited. Mercedes is like a driver's car here. There's no big deal. It's like whatever. So part of this is about putting yourself in an environment where what? The standard is high. I went to go eat in Utah with my family and we went to dinner. All my brothers and sisters, etc. We went to eat. I don't remember the fuck we were eating, some restaurant. And the bill came out and I asked the girl, I said, I need just one check. Just one check. I got it. She's like, it's all on there. I was like, how? I was like, there's like 17 people here. How the fuck is this bill like $485? I don't understand. She's like, are you sure you got everything on there? I don't want the entrepreneur to get screwed on this. Go check it again. Go check. Why? For 17 people to come eat here? Dude, we were more for lunch over here with whatever broccoli steak phenom thing we got going on in here. Somebody sent a fucking text this morning, order the steak and the broccoli. Which was great. I don't give a shit. I think it's hilarious. If you were Jesse Bartlett, you get like 4 of them. He's just like what he does. He just gets 4 steaks and 4 big broccoli chunks. This game requires you to shoot past. Past. Your expectations have to be higher. You can't want what your agents want. You have to want 10 times more. You can't want what they want. There's what they want. You have to want more because in order for them to get what they want, you have to want 10 times more than they want. So there's enough space for them to get what they want. So Mike Hotmeyer was sitting in my house and he's like, dude, I just can't understand why you have this house, why you need this house. I was like, this isn't about need. I was like, I can't understand how you have $1.5 million condos around the country. I don't understand it. Why have 5 shitty condos when you could have one fucking castle? We're just different. I get it. You do what you do, I do what I do. I said, here's what I know. Where you live in Atlanta, Georgia, doesn't push you to grow. Where I live, I got no choice. I got 1,200 light bulbs in my castle. 1,200 fucking light bulbs. Isn't that crazy? 1,200 fucking light bulbs. Something breaks all the time. Breaks all. Do you know my air conditioning units are so complicated? There's 9 air conditioning unit companies that have come here and none of them can fix it. It's like a small hotel. 17 units on the outside.
Good thing you don't need air conditioning out here.
Yeah, well, you do at a certain point. Now I don't. Now we just open the doors. Yeah, we needed it for a season though. All my kids, trust me, we needed it. We had to have like the portable units out the fucking door doing the blow thing. I was like, this is awesome. I just went about a $450 air conditioning unit from Home Depot to put in my daughter's bedroom in a $22 million house because I got air conditioning units that are too complicated that people can fucking fix them. What the fuck? And it's okay because guess where my standards are? When I first went to Mexico, I stayed at Banyan Tree Hotel, Mayacoba. My wife and I went into the hotel and I was like, this was 2015. I was like, oh, this place is fucking amazing. Then we moved into the home that we live now, and every hotel I stay in is a fucking waste of time. I'm serious. Every room I stay in is shit. They're all mediocre compared to my master bedroom. Buying my house ruined me. I won't go to a movie unless it has a lay-down chair with a button to push. I refuse. Why? Standard. Just don't give a shit. I didn't understand it. There's people who won't fly commercial at all. They just won't go. They'll only fly private or they won't go. And I'm like, I understand how that can happen. Standard. Which means you have to shoot for standards that are so much fucking higher than your needs so that your needs are never a problem. But that requires an attitude. It requires a savage attitude to rise. And it requires you to make some critical decisions, which is, what do I really want? Because the decision you make now at 40, 45, the decision you make at 45 is the life you'll have at 60. Mm-hmm. And the energy you have at 60, you think it's going to be more or less than you have at 45? Good fucking luck, dude. You and I are going to have less energy at 60. Mm-hmm. Which means if we need 6-7 hours right now, as much as I hate to fucking admit it, I'll probably need 7.5, 8. Fuck, I might be 9. I don't know. I might be tucking myself in at 8 p.m. being like, I'll fucking see you at 6 a.m. Bitches, I'm sleeping 10 hours. Still drinking Phil Freeze. Just fucking popping it. I don't know, man. I'm fucking smoking weed at that time. Just like high as balls going to sleep. I don't know. But what I do know is this. There is a standard you have to set. The blessing I have is I have a wife who expects a massive life. Some men are not married to women like this. It's a blessing and it's a curse. It's a blessing because she doesn't ride you to buy shit. It's a curse because she has no expectations of you to produce wealth. It's tough. It's a blessing and a curse. Trust me, it's a pain in the ass. Certain levels, kind of pain in the ass. When I come home and my wife's got $4,000 of garlands wrapped in the banisters and they're only halfway done, and I'm like, well, those are nice. How much were those? She's like, $4,000. I was like, okay. What about the rest of these? Oh, I know, I ran out. I ordered more. So by the time this is all done, it's like $12,000 in garland. She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. This is unfucking believable. This is the same woman that we couldn't pay rent. She was fucking selling my Ironman bike out of the basement in 2008. $4,000, $12,000 in garlands. That's temporary Christmas shit. You fuckers know what these are? I don't give a fuck about these, but she sure likes them. And guess how much I can tell her what to do? I can't, because a woman makes 4 to 6 million take home a year herself. I don't give a fuck. Did you buy them yourself? No, you paid for them. Okay. You know how it works. My money's my money. Your money's our money. Clear. Standards have to go up. We're gonna walk and talk this. This is one of those moments I came in after lunch and I get possessed. How many of you can tell when I get fucking possessed? I don't plan it. It's not fucking planned. I don't want it to happen half the time. Like, can we just like go through the really? Oh fuck, here we go. And then I just start fucking torching all of you. I hope you know that when I torch you, I am torching you out of love. Like at this point in the game, I hope you get this. Like when I point out you guys in front of everybody, it's not to make you feel stupid or dumb. I want you to have a moment that I know you will not get when you leave this place. No one will give you this environment. You won't find it. You won't find it back home. So we got a shot while you're here. And then hopefully you'll have the courage to go home and do what? Build and blowtorch people around you in the same way on your teams to get them to rise so we get this domino thing start happening. Got it? All right, Hans, let's go. You're with me. We're walking. Win, then play. This is a Garrett Gunderson statement. He has an entire book written by this. It's like better than killing sacred cows in some ways.
Van or
That's what the
then?
book's called.
What's that?
Van or then?
Then. Sorry, thank you. Win, then play.
This is his book.
This is one of them. And he never published this one to the marketplace. It's really good, though. Win, then play. We have the curriculum and content for it if you guys want it.
Yes.
The audio book to it is fucking sick. So I'll send it to you. I'll have Sammy has it. We just never loaded it up into Summit for you.
All right, I'll get it.
So here's the concept, though. And he and I were playing around with this idea for a long time. And he just put it into a fucking book. It's how I operate. When you just look at this, Hans, right out of the gate, what do we see here? What does this mean when you say it's win, then play?
Hit the result and then start doing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How would that translate? David, how would that translate in business? What would that mean?
Well, I mean, I would say make the sales, then fulfill.
Perfect. Sell. Then build. It's fucking crazy. The psychology is so different. It's as backwards as king eats first to most people. Like when I tell entrepreneurs you should pay yourself first, they're like, well, yeah, no, I'm serious. Like you should be the first one to get paid. Put the pressure on the business, not on you. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, exactly what I'm saying. Put the pressure on the business, not on you. You get paid first. It seems stressful. I don't understand. I was like, I get it. This is just as stressful for most entrepreneurs. What do you want to do? I want you to sell an idea and then I want you to build it. Now, in the world of real estate, if we're not talking about selling it to customers, then I would be selling to realtors about joining your team for a system that doesn't exist yet.
That's my hot stack for the mom.
Good.
Inviting them to play.
And that means we're going to sell it and then we're going to build it.
That's all in there.
Good. Well, we're going to talk about it tomorrow then. So instead of us sitting and waiting, so this is what I've done with software. This is why I have legitimate people who have come to the table in the last like 2-3 months who are like now knocking on the door of, hey, dude, if you keep going, we'll buy Warrior. I said, well, I appreciate that, but I'm not going to sell Warrior. Like, what they're after, though, isn't the curriculum. They're not after content. What are they after? Software. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, shit. You built a legit, this is a legit piece of software you built. I was like, I know. But like, this is yours. Like base code, everything is yours. I'm like, yeah, this isn't a wrapper or Mighty Networks or nothing. Like this is yours. I was like, yeah, this is mine. Oh, fuck, okay. Because what's also happened with venture capital. Venture capital is now like, oh, dude, we'll back fund this like fucking crazy. But what we did here with software was we sold memberships into the software and into Warrior, and then we built the programs. So instead of waiting on the university to pitch it once it's done, we go sell it and then we time release the content with the paid students, because the paid students create something for us that we don't have otherwise, which is what? Cash and pressure.
So this is the same idea then. I'm just shifting it. This is the idea that I shared with you at lunch, which is the event for creating the funding for the franchise expenses, which will be,
Yeah.
so I just need to apply that to this.
So it's principle. I want you guys all to give this. For example, if I'm going to write a book, best way to do this is Satemba did this. And then he finally actually built it, which is like he and I were talking about this like years ago because he wanted to write this fucking book. And he wouldn't write the book. I was like, dude, just go sell like 1,000 copies of your book, pre-order. Keep the money and then take the money and go do what you have to buy the team to go write the book.
This is Kickstarter. That's their whole fucking sell your idea first. Just
Exactly.
don't tell people it's a Kickstarter. Just sell it.
Just an idea. which is all you're doing. You're selling an idea and then going.
Yeah.
One of the first things I did this with was automated webinars. This was back in 2010. I had never built an automated webinar in my life. I was only slightly smarter than these energy workers. At the time, which were my coaches, and they were wanting to do some software stuff online for marketing. I had just made a decision that I was going to be a marketer. I made a decision I was going to be on a marketer with a torn Achilles tendon, sitting in my parents' living room, watching on a Sony Vaio laptop a guy talk about internet marketing. I fucking made a decision that day I was going to be an internet marketer. So I figured to be an internet marketer, you have to have Apple products. So I got on my crutches and I got in my dad's truck and I crutched down to the Apple store, and I bought an iMac and a dual display monitor with a fucking keyboard, because that's what you need to be successful as a marketer. That's my subtle addiction to Apple products. As I was going down this path, though, I started selling. I started acting as if I was. I was like, I'm a fucking marketer. People would say, what do you do? I'm a marketer.
It's the identity shit.
What do you do? I'm a marketer.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I help businesses generate leads. At the time, I didn't know how to fucking do that. I'd done it for my company, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, well, I'm trying to figure it out, which is I knew I was smarter. I knew I could study harder and I would learn harder. So my first big contract was $50,000 as a direct response marketer with these women who wanted to do an automated webinar to put up their offer online to sell perpetually. Mike Filsaime, these guys, Rich Sheffrin had built this software back in the day. So I sold it for $50,000 to these women. These women paid me $50,000. Then I took the money and I went and did what?
Built the team.
Bought the software, bought the team, built the webinar, deployed the webinar. They got leads. I made $25,000. I sold it, then I built it. I won, and then I played. I got cash, and I had the pressure. This as a psychological frame, though, is about selling a vision to something. Now, it puts pressure on you because now it puts pressure on you to do what? Build it. So if you sell it, say you sell it as like a day after Christmas sale and you launch, but it's not done. And you say launch date is January 10th. And then before now and January 10th, we've got the pre-build that happens. We started selling tickets to WarriorCon 4 before we had secured the contract for WarriorCon 4 Studio. We just started selling tickets. Somebody who does this at the extreme level is Grant Cardone. He's hilarious. This guy will fucking sell tickets to an event. He's so funny, dude. He's like, don't tell him when it is. It's like, what? It's like, what do you mean? He's like, why the fuck would you tell him when it is? I was like, how are they going to know when to come to the event if you don't tell them what's going to be? He's like, they don't need to know. They just need to know it's in the month and it's going to happen. You sell the fucking ticket. They'll find a way there. I was like, well, when do you tell them? Once you figure it out. So they won't even have a venue or a state or a city located. And they'll sell the 50% of their tickets to the event before they've even chosen the fucking side of the country or time zone the event's going to be in. And they've already got 3,000 tickets sold. Some of these are $5,000 a ticket. So now, given he's got some huge, I mean, he's just blowing the fuck up right now, right? Cardone Capital put them over the top, dude. You raise almost $2 billion, you get skill fucking crazy, dude. They're going crazy right now, doing good stuff. But he plays at the highest level of this, and I've never been around somebody personally where I've spent time with him that plays this game more than he does. Like, he fucking just rolls the goddamn dice, dude. He's no fucking joke. It's the only place I've been in a long time where I feel like the stupidest, brokest dude in the room, like sitting and listening to these guys around a table with like 10 people, like the shit they're talking to, the numbers they're talking, and the risks they're taking. They're not risky to them, but they just like, holy shit, here we go. But it's all following this model. Win, then play. They keep raising money for Cardone Capital, but they've not bought any massive property deals in the past 4 or 5 months. They keep taking money on. They're not going to slow down taking money on either. He's like, do you think the banks stop taking money because of fucking recession hits? No. The banks take on more money. He's like, we're banks. We're not operating like these guys. We're going to play the game the way the banks play. We don't stop collecting cash. Our job is to get money out the door. We're not going to also make stupid deals on real estate like banks wouldn't make stupid deals on real estate either. But we're not going to stop collecting money. We're going to keep collecting money and our assets will keep paying. So there's a game of just keep playing, keep playing. Same thing you're talking. In 2019, you started doing the work that prepared you to play now. If you want to play now, well, you can still play now. But if you just are starting the work right now, the Alzarv back then, if he was hit now in the game he's in, we're in a different fucking situation. So this means I pick a date Hans, and I say now, and I build my sales page, and I do my promotion, and I start selling now. There's nothing that will get more pressure on you than cash collected from a service or a product that still has to be delivered. This puts the focus where it needs to be. Because a lot of times what will happen, Hans, is people go down the path and they'll build out this huge education site, and guess what they won't do?
Don't sell it.
They won't even sell it. They'll never even launch it. They'll find every reason under the sun for the next 3 years to make it better. Which comes back to the idea you'd brought up a second ago.
Fuck the perfection.
Yeah, which was like, yeah, fuck it. Like the perfection game that just doesn't work. Perfection just causes the chaos. Get in this? So it's like, fuck the perfection. We're going to launch it imperfectly, and we're going to launch it at stages, which means we may release the whole university through the first quarter of 2023. Every week, we're going to release a new segment of it. But we're going to sell it now with some pre-work, and then the first units start releasing the second week of January. This is a mindset, though, that puts you in a place which means you have to believe in what? Matt, what do you have to believe you can do?
Deliver.
That's it. You have to believe you can deliver. You have to believe. This is why I stress a lot of people out around me. Because, like, I'll sell shit, and I'm like, we're going to fucking go. We deliver 99% of the shit we say we're going to. There's some situations I've overpromised some shit we couldn't get it fucking done in time, or something just got fucked up. Or we decided we weren't going to do it that way, and so we helped, do something different. To Kevin's case, in the cunt speech, we probably could have handled that a lot better. But what I mean by that is we probably could have sent an announcement when I did it real time. No one on the team thought about this shit. I was worried about 75 other things. Nobody once thought we should probably have a release document that goes to Shelter and Shield when Garrett makes the offer on day 3 so that they don't hear this secondhand and it becomes a shit show, because that's what happened. So being accountable, we could have done a lot better job as a company in releasing that and making it very clear for them that we care for them, we want them, and that their programs continue the rest of the year. And we would love to give them opportunity to get legacy pricing on software, and they can build their own tribe units inside the software now. We're not kicking them out of it. They can still bond together, be together, and give them some training on how to set up their own Zoom rooms so they can build their own groups every week. But we didn't do any of that shit.
But
Yeah.
is Kevin O'Rourke or O'Connell, whatever the fuck his name is he Warriors customer?
No, obviously not, because I didn't give a fuck. I was selling their belts. But he was for a season. What I'm saying is there could have been a better way to do it. And had we thought through it a little bit, the onboarding, that's part of what you're here, is helping me not create as much, collateral damage to all the decisions I make.
Yeah, reduce it. But the hardest part is inside of our business is being willing to say fuck you to people that aren't our customers.
Yes, 100%.
I'm sure Kevin's a great dude. I don't know Kevin.
Yeah. Yep.
Not our customer.
Totally get it.
Not our fucking customer.
Totally get it. Yep. Win, then play. Sell, then build. Cash, then pressure. Check.
It's funny because we're out on the deck and we're talking about, I told you how I missed my workouts, right? Missed my workouts because I did this. So one of the things we did is we pre-sold a trading strategy in one of our workshops, and we hadn't built it. The team was like, "What the fuck? We don't even have this strategy. Why did we put this in there?" And I'm like, "Well, we're gonna figure it out."
Yep.
And so the reason I get my workouts in is because we were busting our ass in research mode. I knew we could do it. I had no doubt we could do it. But we were busting our ass in research mode to get through it all, to get it done, and get it all set up so we could actually put it out.
Yep.
And then not only that, not only were we able to deliver it to our students, but now we have something that we can allocate capital to going forward that's excellent.
Yep.
And it all happened under the pressure.
Yep. Warrior Launch is an example of this. We're launching Warrior Launch. We're still lining up what the actual program is, because we're debating and arguing, fighting about it as a team, which is great, super healthy, because we're trying to get clear about it, and everybody's got a valid fucking point on everyone's valid. Mine's like valid, but it's like only a piece of the pie now. Everybody else got a lot of validity, just like me. So I have my opinion, they have their opinion, then we're going to land on what it is. But it didn't stop the fact that I knew this. I needed to start in the first month, and I needed to run the launch calls on Tuesdays. While we had time to do what?
Create the rest.
Create the rest, because I know I can hold the frame of certainty and deliver value and get everyone moving in the right direction, and I can make that shit up on the fly if I have to just support it in a way that no one else on the team could. It creates too much instability and certainty. So while we figure out the backside, and we haven't figured it out, we just haven't committed to a few of the pieces of it. And then my team, which is great. So Corin is here, But Nick, see how these guys are on the team now because they're helping us deploy stuff that we've done a lot of fucking thinking before we just deploy. Where in the past, Garrett just fucking makes shit up on stage, punts it. I say we're going this way. Coach Sam closes it. Garrett recloses it, and then we go. And then we have no like. There's a lot of fucking bolts falling off the truck.
But like the win and play model with launch, for instance, we know exactly what the fucking outcome is we're after with the men.
Yep.
How do we get to the outcome is like where we're having the debate.
Exactly.
We know the exact fucking outcome we're after.
Exactly.
We know what the win looks like. It's just the technical detail.
Thank you. Yeah, for that. That is accurate.
So as I think about like a program I can put together that has asymmetrical return on time versus me trading time for dollars inside the in-person space, what program can I create and sell that I don't have to completely build out, but at least have a framework of the result of the deliverable or what we want them to have as an outcome. So
Yeah, so stop there. It's what outcome do I want my clients to
Yeah.
get? That's the only fucking question. And that's the only fucking question we've been answering, which we know the outcome. Now we're just trying to, figure out the fucking.
So you heading, Matt, you heading into the end of the year. This goes for all of you. Any of you selling consulting, or even I told you this with the medical services. No bullshit. By Christmas, by New Year's, this thing should be fucking sold out for 2023. There's never a better time to ride dudes about their fucking health and take care of their family than right now. Between now and the end of the year, drinking too much, sleeping too little, getting sick, feeling fat, feeling fucking gross, feeling human. And it's right now.
Execute.
Get into spring, sun's out, flowers are blooming. Everyone's like, God, it's all good. I'm happy. The winter is like this time. It gets, shit, dude. It feels like it's 9 o'clock at night already and it's like 4 o'clock. So that shit's starting to happen in the winter season where it's like, where are we going, etc. So in this, we would then sell now and start doing interviews like 2-3 weeks from now. And then accept people into the process, maybe through a unified experience all together at the facility at once. I don't even know if that's possible. Probably have to have a fucking giant hospital pull that shit off. But I'm saying like there's a way though for us to start pitching. You can start taking applications now for something you're not even going to accept clients for. We're already building a massive list for WarriorCon 5 tickets. Of people that want to get into WarriorCon 5 already. They've already opted in and many have already put credit cards down to start securing a seat. We don't even know when it's going to be. I don't even know if I'm going to do it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it, but I don't know if we're going to do it or not. I think it was pretty fun to do it. That was a cool studio. It was awesome. Now I want one.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's cool, huh? Changed your mind about how to run a hybrid event, huh? How many were blown away by that thing? Raise your hand. How many guys virtual? Dude, my guys up on virtual right now. A lot of you guys were virtual. That was pretty sick, wasn't it? Dylan, what was that? Dylan, what was that like? Watching that from the studio with the fucking roll-up jib, and I was looking straight in it and doing all this crazy. How was that? How was that?
It was a blast, and it was actually really cool to see the flow in between, and I could also feel the deep connection, like when you say, "Hey, come here," right? You get that. I could feel the connection and the way the whole thing flew. It was a very powerful and really educational. So I thought it was beautiful.
Dude, we love that you're here, man. I'm excited for you to be here this next year.
I'm very stoked.
Are we still doing VR?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Good. I didn't know if maybe things changed in the last 6 months and you became a male escort. So good to see. Part-time male. Okay, good. That's still on the side. You can't turn that away. Good Vegas weekend. Make you a good 10K a weekend. It's good. Perfect. So this piece inside of what we're doing, if I'm Dylan's in a situation with VR, I would sell shit that he knows he needs cash to go build. We sell it before he goes and builds it, so he has the cash to go build it.
Yep.
Just like Kickstarter, he sells it fucking now with a promise to deliver by February.
Elon Musk, every fucking 3 months, he's selling something stupid.
And all of it is being sold based upon an idea.
Yeah.
So a lot of times if you guys are trying to bootstrap a lot of this shit too, it's just rough. It's tough. So Matt, in your case, is there a home study course? I think it's less about trying to sell a home study course up front, so much as selling probably some kind of an accelerator program, a 5-day burn experience, something that we could get qualified people in the door that would be interested in whatever the outcome was that came at it, but really it's a 4 or 5 day sales system.
Yeah, I'm writing some copy for it right now. Just the idea that everybody starts and they don't have a platform for doing something different for the next year or so. They start Jan 1 and it's like, we make the donuts again. Versus I go in with a completely different strategic plan, mindset, skill set, and that's blow the doors off any result I've had in previous years.
You got it.
So,
Perfect. We just come out, if that's the outcome they're looking for, and we come up with a cool, unique name from it, and we work more on the sales page and the pitch than we do the program. Then once you sell, then you start to build.
Yeah.
You'll have way more creative pressure on you to do it. Some people break under that pressure. Like Jeremy Finlay excels in it. You give him the less time you give him, the better he does. You know, he has 12 hours, he won't do anything. He gives 2 hours, he'll create magic. Like shit, golden eggs. You're like, good job, Bear. It's good pressure. Okay. Questions on this piece? Okay. We're going to work on then our review of what you said you were going to do inside of balance. So pull out your balance focus from last quarter, from this last month. And we're going to review on this. You guys we haven't gone through balance today, correct?
Yep.
We just went, we didn't or we
Balance,
didn't? Not.
business.
Okay,
the
cool.
last
We've
two.
kind of been hammering business, so we're going to go and let's go over to balance. We're going to give you 10 minutes to review through it, and then we're going to head out to the deck, and we'll go for the walk and talk about it. Just what did you say you were going to do last quarter when it came to balance? How many of you hit your target for balance in the last month? 3? 3 out of the group? Okay, cool. For the rest of you guys that are like kind of new hanging out, gentlemen, you kind of like over the shoulder this time, so we're going to get you up to speed. It'll make more sense coming into this next one as you stay with us here the next couple of days. Okay, all right, perfect. Let's go. Let's cue some music up. Off we go. 10 minutes. Review what you said you were going to do last quarter or last month. We're going to talk about it here in a second.
All right, so let's hear some shares. Chris, where you at, man? Inside of the game of balance.
I got a good place. Put a lot of work in this year, especially with my queen. Talking about our marriage, sex in our marriage.
Yeah.
We have more open, honest dialogue than we've ever had.
Wow.
And I told the guys out there, I'm surprised I'm even married at times.
What do you mean?
I've really not shown up as a husband like I should through the years. I justified it with 8 years of schooling to get the education.
Yep.
2 young kids.
Yep.
Just a lot of shit. And so my lack of attention and focus on her has been so minimal that even a little bit right now that I'm doing is, really impressive to her.
Yeah.
My 2 big targets, we have our 16th anniversary coming up on the 25th of this month. And so I committed to making that special and putting a lot of time and energy behind it. And one of the things is writing her love letter every day, starting November 1st.
Wow.
So I write her one a day, and right now we kind of started like when we first met, like the very first time we saw each other.
Yeah.
And then a couple core memories of that time period.
Yeah.
So I got that going strong right now. She loves it.
Good. How long are you going to do this for?
Till the 25th. So I'm doing 25.
Leading to the anniversary. Cool.
I'm going to bind it, put them in a book. I write it and send it to her so she gets it that day, but then I'm going to make something special behind it.
Beautiful.
And the other one was just one-on-one time with my kids.
Yeah, how's that going?
One each. Good. I got 2 out of the 3. The third one's planned for Saturday.
Good.
So my 15-year-old's getting ready to start learning how to drive, and his dexterity and spatial awareness is not even there. So
Fucking
I'm
terrifying.
So
I put my kids on dirt bikes and I'm scared to death. My 9 and 7-year-old, it's the scariest thing ever. We're in the middle of a field.
yeah. So we got a razor and we out driving on the desert, and it's I'm fucking white knuckling the whole time and think I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I'm screaming at them to slow the fuck down or don't hit that, and they just end up wrecking. And I'm like, all right, I guess we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're doing that with him.
Wow.
And then my 13-year-old loves tacos.
Yeah.
We got a taco spot I took him to.
Nice.
And then my 6-year-old, we're gonna do Chuck E. Cheese on Saturday.
Cool.
Just me and him for an hour.
Good. So here's the question inside of balance, right? What habits do we already have in place, or what habits do we need to put in place to support us inside of the game of balance? Because I'm really good at doing a home run thing, once in a while.
Yeah.
Right? The big event, the big, anniversary, whatever the fucking thing is, I'm good at doing that. The hardest thing for me, though, is having a consistent rhythm and a habit inside of the game of balance that's actually sustaining.
Something I started year and a half ago was 15 Never Bins. I
Mm.
stole that from Easy.
Easy E.
And as part of my target, I set a goal to have a babysitter for our children
Yeah.
come once a week on Thursdays. I got lucky. I was able
Yeah.
to enroll my mother-in-law. So she gets to spend time with both kids on Thursday.
Yep.
And we get to go on date night. And so we've continued to do 15 Never Bins in terms of we always go to a different restaurant. We're having to drive now because we kind of tapped out of the immediate area. But it's been consistent, and it's something that we put in place that gives us that space once a week to go out and enjoy. And she's drinking now because she's not pregnant, so it's even better. Come back, the kids are asleep.
Because
And
drinking leads to what?
her feeling freedom.
Drinking leads to fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she comes home stress free,
Awesome.
and that's like every single Thursday.
Beautiful.
Date night.
Consistent.
One thing I want you guys to look at, most of you have never looked at investing in, just play this for a second. Full-time coverage of the kids to assure that date nights occur. Think about this. You invest in employees and team members to support. You can't run the practice by yourself. How many people you got full-time at the practice? 19 people at the practice, right? Yeah, wouldn't think twice about hiring a new front desk person. Wouldn't think twice about hiring another, dental hygienist. Is that who you hire? A dental hygienist?
No, we don't have hygienists.
All right. Well, who do we hire? That's it, dental assistants. So we wouldn't think about it. I mean, we might, but you're like, fuck, we need another. We're like, we need it, right? So in business, there's like, well, we need it. But I want you to consider in your family, you need it. Like when that switch happened for me, it was like game over. Like we needed it. And I looked at it like this. My wife, and this was a fight with my wife, a really big fight. And then Nick, I'm gonna come to you about, and then take down 2 of our guys up here for some cool shit that went down virtually. This was a massive shift in my brain. It's like win, then play, which was the ability to have coverage for my family. Because my wife needed to know we were good to go no matter what. Matt Edmondson, single, not married, stressed about his 4 boys all the time, bro, right? Messing up his dating life. I was like, why are you doing this? He's like, what are you talking about? You run a company that's worth, you do 50 million a year in revenue. You have 385 employees. You hire new people all the time. And yet here you are over in Poland, circus dad with a fucking SUV. What the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, what are you talking about? It's like, why are you not investing? I had this conversation with Brad Lee, who was like, yeah, we tried the homeschool thing. We hired a teacher for, a collaboration with like 6 families. And we paid, $45,000 for a teacher, and it was like 5 families, and she was teaching. It didn't work out. I was like, are you the same guy I see 732 videos a day on Instagram about making money? And you're over here trying to cheap bastard your way into a fucking teacher at $45,000 a year? He's like, well, how did you do it? I hired 3 at $120,000 a year. He's like, what the fuck, bro? I was like, no, I want the best. You're going cheap. You pulled your kids out of school to hire a shitty teacher at $45,000 a year to coach your kids with 4 other families. Wow, bro, that's impressive. Think about this with coverage with the babysitter. Your wife has somebody she loves and trusts. Game over. Matt hired this woman. I met her last week when I was in Colorado. She's fucking amazing, bro. She's retired. She's 55, 56 years old. Her 1 child is grown up. She's at home. She takes care of Matt like she's his wife, but they don't fuck. She's like in his world. She takes care of him. She takes care of the kids. I met her, hugged her. She's like coming home. The boys love her. She sits and does homework with them. Wow. And then he gets to go on date night. So when his ex freaks out and does some crazy shit with the kids, he's got coverage and off he goes. Phil's same situation, but just coverage. If you invested in coverage, not your mother-in-law, coverage. Mother-in-laws are good. That's good
I was
coverage.
just gonna say, I can't believe that I haven't told you guys this. Like I minimized it, but I hired a full-time fucking nanny.
Well, good.
She started last week. She
Yeah,
gets $55,000 a year. My wife and I are sitting there talking, and she's like, "Are we really to the point where we have a $55,000 a year nanny that comes
That's
every day
amazing.
from 7:30 to 6 every
Yeah,
single day?"
it's fantastic.
I'm like, yeah, we do.
And it's fantastic. And guess what it does? It allows for the thing that all of our parents suffered through not to happen. My mom suffered through trying to raise 5 kids with a father who didn't know how to fucking manage himself, and she lost herself. My mom suffers today because of it. So like we have a nighttime nanny. Is it necessary? No. But guess what? My wife and I don't want to wake up at all. I want to wake up in the morning, be with my baby. I want to put my babies to bed at night. But this is a mental shift. And you're like, well, I can't afford it. You wouldn't tell me that if we were talking about hiring a new marketing agent, not a director of sales on your team. Why are we having this conversation about your home? It's weird. It was a hard shift for me, but once I got it, and then once we experienced it, that was my project. So now I got full-time coverage. Rhett, you've seen it in my home.
It's fucking crazy.
Isn't it wild?
Another business.
It is. It's literally a business at my home. It's like a little business at the home, just all ladies. And he came in and he's watching. He's like, fuck. I was like, yeah, bro, welcome to Squad White. That's how we do it around here. This is my wife, and 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 that's the one I sleep with. And these women all help raise my children, and they're amazing.
Modern polygamy, bro.
It is. Just Side note, you want to know something funny? That actually happened. This just stays between all of us.
Sure. Uh-oh.
Actually, I don't give a shit where it goes, but here's what it is. Women dynamics are wild. My wife actually became very sexually possessive when there were like 4 new women in the home.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm not attracted to these women at all.
Yeah.
But the minute these women are in the home, my wife would go out of her way to like in the middle of the day do things to like stamp me. And I was like, is this all it would have taken for years?
So you're telling me I need a nanny then? All right, that was clear.
So as you look in your world, as you look, congratulations on the nanny. People look at this as I'm abandoning my kids. I want you to consider what you're saying is I'm committed to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm abandoning my kids, really? You think your exhausted wife who can barely fucking stand up straight at night after dealing with your kids all day long, somehow that makes sense? It's like, it's like once I came to terms with that, and I have a producing wife where she runs her own business, so she's stressed out in that way, but it was a big shift for me. It was like having somebody clean your house. It was kind of weird. How are you guys getting this? So I just want to plan this for next year, dude. Just like the idea of having somebody there, like your wife, she'll lose her mind. She'll fight it, bro. I was like, she will fight it.
She does.
She will fucking fight it for 2 to 3 months. And then once she lets go, she will praise you in ways you have never imagined because of the space. Everything I have right now, my wife fought me on all of it. She's like, we have too many people. Da, 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 da. Now she's like, oh God, it's fucking amazing. Okay, we had 2 things, Nick, to come up on virtual. Grab the little microphone right there. I think it's over here on the side. Right down there. The handheld mic. It's like right in front of the podium. Yeah.
All right. Justin, you ready?
Yep.
All right, guys. So during our balance review, Justin shared with us that he is one of the men inside of this council that is looking for his queen. So what came out of that was the conversation that we all got to see live with Marty of writing letters to the queen for what we want in the future. So Justin, first share with us the letter once again.
Justin, tell them what you've been doing. This is actually quite inspiring.
So I just when I decided to get married, God told me that she'll find me. So I just started writing letters to her because I was like, well, that's the only thing I can do if she's gonna find me. And so since I set that, I give her a nickname each day and I do an appreciation stack for her. This is the letter. Yesterday was the first day the nickname I gave her was my wife. And to my wife, man, what a blessed day this is. If you are reading this or hearing this, what joy will fill my soul when we are together. Whatever responsibilities we decide to fulfill for each other, let there be freedom in our actions. Let us be kind and present and full of joy. May we have moments that our souls delight in each other. May we have days when we feel cherished. May we have days that we cherish. And may I always keep and express my love to you with certainty. Let us choose to be meant for each other. Let us choose to be soulmates. Let us choose the life we have both dreamed of and desired for so long. With love, your husband, my wife, I'm waiting, I'm the one.
So when's the last time you wrote a letter to your wife of any nature? Last month? Anybody?
yesterday.
6 months? Okay, we got one.
Did an angry stack this morning.
Okay. Yeah, well, I guess we can consider that. So I want you guys to consider whether you're looking for the queen or you have the queen. What if we started to write letters to express our feelings about the queen? So the first one I want you to think about, what if you wrote a letter to the queen about my queen is, oh, come on, who she is. And you actually explained to your wife that you see her for who she is. See, Justin's in a unique spot. He gets to talk about who she will be, which to us probably sounds very easy. Hey, you're lucky, Justin. 13 years of marriage right here. My wife is who she is. I can't tell her any other way. But I don't celebrate it the way I should. Those unique qualities that attracted me to her. So what would happen if I wrote to her who she is and I explained why I love her for it? The second letter is who and there's a key word in here, believe her to be. See, Phil, you let her know today who you believe her to be. It may not be what she wanted to hear, but you let her know in your angry stack everything you believed her to be. But how often do we reaffirm our wives in the potential person that we believe they could be? Another conversation we had inside of this today is, when do we give space to our wives to actually go after their dreams? Most of them feel that they have to stay at home. They have to take care of the kids. Now, maybe when you have a whole staff to take care of them, the whole game changes. But for most of us, we don't have that opportunity. So when did you last let her know who you believe her to be? And then last, this is the one where I think we all miss the most as men, because we only do half of the equation. We don't do it. Who I want us to be. We forget this part a lot, guys. We let them know everything we're building. We let them know all the work we're doing. We let them know all the wins we've had. It's all very singular. What would happen if we started telling them stories about who we wanted us to be? What if you started writing letters like this, Justin? We went into this conversation when you started talking about obligation, duties, how you wanted to take care of her. One of the conversations we had inside that, guys, is who is the version of the man Justin needs to become to provide that kingdom? See, when we start talking about us, we start thinking about everything that's involved in that equation. The house, the kids, the business, the actual kingdom needs to be built together. So what would happen if you guys started letting the queens know these three things? And I bet you've got some good insight on this because you're kind of going through all of this right now.
Yeah. Last night, I told her this. I expressed to my wife quite often, and when I had to tell her that I cheated on her 5 years ago, with tears in my eyes, also at the same time affirming who I believe her to be, and the reason why I was so attracted to her soul in my journey, but also the same girl that I met when she was 21, because that was the same person. Who she is now at 40 is not that same girl, but she's inside of her. So it's my job to pull that girl back out of her through support, through conversation, through being the man that she expects me to be and who she saw me to be 19 years ago. So yes, I'm a big believer in this, and I write things to her often, expressing my gratitude for who she is. And I spent so many years trying to change her into something that I wanted her to be versus celebrating who she is. And that she could never measure up. Instead, I appreciate her for her humanness. I appreciate her for all her faults and all her gifts. And so the journey over the past couple of months with her is about celebrating both of us. It's about celebrating her for who she is and where she's at, and also where I see her to be, and just saying, I'm here when you're ready. When you're ready to go to that place of where I know you can get to, I'm here 100%. I'll roll up my sleeves with you. And when you're gonna not do that, I'll love you the same. And I appreciate you for where you are right now in your happy place. And so it's been super powerful to let go of trying to want something more for her than she wants for herself. And to know that she's perfect. If she stayed this way from the rest of our lives together, I'm okay with that.
It's big.
And we fuck like rabbits for over a month, and it's been amazing. But
You can smile about that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right, bro. You can smile about that shit. Great.
and to your point, like we joke about it, but we call her like peeing on me because some girl will go like this and talk to me. She's like, "Who the fuck is touching you?"
Yeah.
And so later that night we get home and she's like, has to reclaim her crown.
Oh yeah.
So it's very interesting. But that connection that we have is the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
It's completely open and honest. I'm not carrying anything in my back pocket. And then I'm like, I hope she didn't see this.
Yes.
And we get to be all of us, fully
Yes.
expressed.
So fucking happy for you, bro. Dude, you've come so far, man. This was like the final straw. This was the final fucking crack in the foundation, man.
Yeah.
The coolest part about that, so happy for you, is the fact that you were willing to risk all of it to get all of it. It's just like me. I was willing to risk everything in order to have everything.
I wrote a letter.
Yeah.
I wrote my stack to her. It took me over 3 hours. Was just releasing our marriage
Wow.
as I knew it. It was probably one of the deepest pits I've had since I joined Warrior that day. She was gone. I told her to leave and go to her brother's and start her healing process because she couldn't do that with me. I was the aggressor. And so I would hope she came home. I would hope that she'd stay. I hope that she wanted to stay married, but I didn't know. But I had to let go. And so that's what I did in the stack. Through that processing, I burned that marriage. I burned who I was, and I was okay on the other side of, if we don't stay together, that's okay. I still love her. I still will build. I'll still grow. I'll still do. I'll still be the best version of me I can be, and I'll still be an amazing fucking father. I don't need her to be a great father.
Yep.
But if she wants to step into this and wants to work on it, let's build something great. And that's just been, it's been a journey for sure.
When there's seekers, there's need. And when there's need, you have no true attraction. Secrets create neediness because we inherently know something's off. There's some people in our world, in my world, the stack continues to come back and tell me, you cannot trust this man. I inherently know it. I feel it. I sense it when I'm around him. But he's a good man. He just lies. And so there's a piece of inability for me to trust. So the minute the lie, which in this case was a hidden secret, was put into the light was spoken into it, verse 3, verse 2, you spoke light into the darkness, there was a potential of God's atonement and rebirth in that darkness. And in that place is a release of neediness. And what replaces that neediness is true, pure, divine desire, which is why it doesn't surprise me that you guys are having like amazing sex, because I guarantee the sex not only is her reclaiming, so a part of it's that, but it's also a space too of reunifying under this new place as if you were new people. This is the one flesh that God was talking about in the Bible. This is the one flesh I'm finally experiencing with my wife, like one flesh, one soul, one connection. It didn't happen for me for 21 years in relationship until the last like 2 or 3 months. And now I've experienced it. So I know where you're at with it. And a lot of that for us was dealing with our final pieces of our cards. Not stuff that we were hiding, but stuff that we had shared, but neither one of us had forgiven. And then it was the forgiveness of us both torching that person's card that allowed for the connection to occur. Like at the end of the day, like this is the thing we're all after. It's what you're after with Savannah, dude. It's
Dude.
what we're after with everybody.
That's what she's after, man. We sat there in the therapist chair yesterday afternoon, and she's like, dude, like, I want you.
Wow.
That's it. No other man. I want you. Yeah.
What version of you does she want?
She wants a king.
Yeah, all of it, man.
Yeah. She can't feel me. Yeah.
This piece of you right now that's shown up, this piece is different than the version that shows up usually.
For sure.
There's just it's not a false humility. It's a deep connection of just truth for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't come from your head. It comes from your heart.
100%.
Yeah. How many of you can feel it? And y'all have been around. I mean, we've been around Nick or Corwin for like fucking long time, man. Like this whole year. I mean, some of you guys have been around Corwin longer than me. Like this, at the end of the day, what you're doing, this is what men will follow. This is why they followed from the beginning. We're not after, none of us are after being perfect leaders with people following us because we're perfect. It's not even like our body size, or it's not how much money you have, or how much like sex you're having. Like it's truly, truly in today's game, it is, can you vulnerably lead from power, not from weakness? Meaning, be vulnerable not as a victim, be vulnerable not looking for sympathy, be vulnerable not looking for people to tell you it's going to be okay. Be vulnerable in the sense that vulnerability is the path to power and connection. And then it changes. This is why like our teams follow. Like this is why people freak out and stuff when they're around me, because like I'll go one extreme to the other. Because I just give myself permission to feel everything. And it's very uncomfortable half the time. It's like, here we go. I guess I'm going to feel this. That's why, Nick, a lot of it is questions. It's like questions. Okay, so we have some focus for tomorrow. Some big focus. Like, I'd love tomorrow to be like an incredibly powerful day for all of you, like in some really big ways with business. Like, of all the things that we could have happen for you tomorrow, like, I would really like that to be the case. And I'd really like it to not be like a surface level theory conversation. I'd really like it to be tactical tomorrow, if we can get to tactical. And the only thing that would hold us back from getting to tactical is your clarity on what you need. Because if we have to spend 30 minutes trying to help you figure out what you need or what you're after, it's not that we don't have time to do it tomorrow, we will. It's just, it's gonna take a lot of time to get there. So whatever the topic is that you want support on tomorrow, I want you to complete some stack about it for tomorrow. It doesn't have to be a hot stack. It could be angry stack, happy stack, excited stack, because it could just be opportunity. But there needs to be some kind of a stack that you've done that has you think about this tomorrow morning before you come in, so that we can just have a very powerful experience, because between Nick and Corwin and myself and Matt and all of you guys here in the room, all of us together and online, we got an opportunity to do something really cool tomorrow. Like really cool, like a way we've never done it before. If you'll come in tomorrow with just a very clean energy of, here is the problem I'm facing on the way to the freedom I need in business. And you either use what you've already got and have us beat up your idea, or we take and help you build out the actual sequence or process for what it needs to be. So if we talk about being able to make your first hire, that you leave tomorrow with a description of what that position is. Not as a theory, you leave tomorrow with a description, and we have it on the board based on an accountability chart where that person sits, what their roles and responsibilities are, and we build it out with you tomorrow, and it's done. And then you deploy that shit on Friday. Are you guys getting what I'm talking about for tomorrow?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I don't want tomorrow to be strategy. I want this to be very tactical, right? Just so that you feel it. So like, Chris, current situation, just give me an idea what it is heading in tomorrow before you do some work on it. What do you think it is?
I need to tighten up, once someone books, so two things. One, once they give opt-in, I need better frame around what it is stepping into with me.
Okay.
So some video, some content around that.
Okay.
And the sequence for a booked call.
Okay.
Once it's booked, then again, kind of a flow of touches with me and what to expect.
Okay. So in this situation, like with Chris will have web pages that we need to look at. Because what the goal is for us to rapid fire this as a team, but we show up and we put it on the boards and everyone gets to learn from everyone's experience. So it's not just isolated and then you shut off. It's that we make it relevant and then we record it in a way that lets you see it. So you could go back and watch it if you needed to when the topic comes up. You know, so if we're talking about building your launch sequence, which is win then play, that's going to be relevant to a lot of you in this room. It just may not be super relevant right now, but it may be relevant 2 months from now. I want you to be able to go back and watch it. So that means tomorrow I need to see what the current membership site looks like. Where do you currently host it? Are you hosting it anywhere? What assets you already have done? What things are already figured out so that we can see them? We can look at them. We can put them up. I'm going to roll a vibe board in here along with this one so that we have two going on at the same time. It's going to be very tactical when we come into it, and we're going to get started right out of the gate. We're not going to spend a long time doing walk and talks and figuring shit out. I really would like us to smash through the whole day tomorrow and be done at 6 o'clock, and everybody has a fucking solid execution plan of what they're going to do, and you just feel good about it. And then Friday, we can clean up and put frosting on it, sprinkles on it, and we can work on other shit. But this is mission critical move. Making my first hire, dealing with my booking sequence, getting the university launched. What do you think it is right now for you?
Building my marketing
What specifically?
2023
Okay, so your marketing calendar.
calendar campaign.
Okay, awesome. So this is a big
Our circuit, or am
Awesome.
I gonna double up on the smart asset leads I'm paying for now?
Okay, cool. So this will be overarching marketing strategy for the year. This, by the way, how many of you have actually planned out a year in advance what you're doing for marketing? Like what you're selling, offer-wise, launches. Anyone done this?
No.
So you've done it before? Were you doing that in property management?
Property management and gym.
Yeah. So like it will change the way your brain thinks, particularly coming into where you guys are heading in. Like just getting ahead of schedule, saying we're deploying this at this time. In the franchise model, it's like our launch sequence begins for the first franchises in the month of February, but you have a visual on it. So what I'll do is I'll get a year calendar, kind of just with months. We'll get that not like every month printed out, but just kind of a visual of month to month. So we can start looking at this from a month-to-month game heading into next year as part of your hot seat too. Online, same thing. Dan, Dave, Keith, etc. Dylan, Justin. I know you guys are kind of stepping in. Dave, we'll be starting with you specifically on your coaching campaign, things you're up to. We love that you guys are here. As you guys can kind of tell, you're kind of jumped into the middle of a group that's been going for a year. So like we love that you guys are here, and we know you're kind of watching over the shoulder with what's happening. So we're not going to spend a lot of time trying to get you up to speed with where we're at. You just kind of play into the flow of where we're at. As Warrior Council rolls out, there'll be a little bit more build-up for you guys, but this is kind of a bonus opportunity. You guys getting value just sitting in the room watching this tonight? Yeah? Perfect. Okay, so clear on what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Clear.
Okay, so last bonus assignment is appreciation stack to your wife tonight before you go to bed. Appreciation stack. And then tomorrow we're going to read those at some point. Coach Nick will lead that, and we'll all write either tonight or when you wake up in the morning, appreciation stack to the queen. You don't have to send it to her right yet, but just something to get your feelings out for it. Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Greg, you good? You good, Dave? Phil, you good?
Good.
Matt?
100%.
Good? John?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's wrap this up with prayer.
Okay, circle it up, man. Just another business training.
Just another regular old business. Yeah, we kept
We
our
have
shirts
not
on.
gone shirtless yet.
Not gone shirtless yet. Don't hold us back from that experience. All right, I'll offer this one up. Here we go. Deep breath in. Release. Deep breath in. Release. Deep breath in. And release. God, tonight we sit here as a group of men in person with a handful in virtual. who are here with us, men who have been fighting for well over a year here together as a group. They've watched all kinds of changes and shifts inside of themselves, inside the group, inside the dynamics of their businesses, their marriages, and their lives occur. We've seen some radical and even miraculous things occur here this year. And we know also that the rest of this year, there's some more miraculous things that are going to show up. Tonight, Father, as these men leave this place and spend time with themselves or at home or in their hotel rooms or in their Airbnb resting, that as they're spending time with themselves tonight, that you would be with them. That there would be some specific moments tonight, not tomorrow, tonight, walking outside their apartment or walking outside the hotel, just being by themselves, lying down in bed tonight after saying goodnight to the kids through FaceTime, that there would be some quiet moments, no music, no podcasts, no distractions, no background music, no meditation, that Father, you would just be there with them. That inside that space, that silence tonight as they lay their heads down on their pillows, that their mind would be invigorated with truth, that there would be some simplicity to some of the challenges they're facing in business, that tonight as they sleep, that they will rest upon what those are and that their minds would begin problem solving with you through the nighttime. And that when they wake up in the morning, that what they would find as they enter into the stack in preparation for tomorrow, that what they would find is answers. That there would be clarity around conversation, that you would guide them to know what to ask to talk about tomorrow, and that we as a group would do what's required tonight and into tomorrow to be prepared for those conversations. That tomorrow could be a very tactical day, that tomorrow be a very technical day, that tomorrow be a day in which there is such power in this room that every man is edified, every man leaves with a plan, every man leaves with specifically what to do, and that there is a courage and there is a confidence and there is a clarity that is found tomorrow and then through tonight that currently does not exist in any of us as of today because of the work and because of the gift and because of the Spirit and because of the fire that you back us with. This is our prayer, Father, this night as we end today in unity as brothers, as kings submitted to you as the King, here asking for your guidance, asking for your support, and asking for your insight is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Gentlemen, appreciate you guys deeply. Like what a fucking game. What a game. And it feels good to me to just be in a place where we have so many of you choosing to stand and to rise. I've worked 10 years to get to where we are right now. It's going to work. And this is a season we enter of we. And so I'm going to ride your asses because if you don't rise, then it's still me. But when you rise, it's we. And when it's we will do things together as men. We will build things and they will change things that are impossible. You all must prosper. You must be wealthy. You must have ridiculous amounts of money. You have to. It's not if, you must. Because the places we have to go, you cannot get there with hope. We have to buy our way through the doors. And the people called to follow you, they won't listen to you otherwise. So thank you. Brett, thank you for being here. Nick, thank you for being here. Corwin, thank you for being here. And all the rest of you, thank you so much for being here. So that's it for tonight. This is a hug it up moment with your shirts off. So take your shirts off. I'm just kidding.